How many times have I said this already, that I absolutely love this menu music? Probably way too many times. Love it so much. Same normal reasons as usual. You know, working on the review, and also working on the panel as well. So, yeah, there's a fair bit going on. So yeah, good to just sit back and relax and play one of my favorite games of all time. Just as we always like to do whenever we finish it, you know, we finish on a Friday and the weekend officially starts as well. Apologies for the delay as well. I actually went to, because I went to the gym about 5 o'clock, finished at about 6:30 and had to come home, and then came home, cooked dinner, and then eventually started this live stream. Really had not much of a chance to breathe, if that makes sense. Pair of us. Pair, welcome in. I think I've come into this stream prior to today, but I had no idea you were also autistic. Well, yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Don't know how else to describe that. 9 months left for GTA 6, hopefully. I'd say more closer to 19 months, more realistically, Calvin. Boxing Lounge, also welcome in. Ghost Rider, also welcome in. How is it? Yeah, good to see everybody arrive just as I appear on camera. But yeah, as I was saying before, why am I sorry for the mispronunciation. Yeah, Wreck. No, Wreck. That's right. Wreck. Yes, Wreck. Yeah. Said it just before. Yes, Wreck. Yes. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome in. Yeah. How are you, Wreck? As I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Apologies for the delay for the start. Sorry. I already mentioned that bit as well. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Went to the gym. Basically had dinner and immediately started this live stream. It's kind of a relief that all the overlays are already set. Like I am, because I streamed Gran Turismo 3 on the Sunday, didn't change any overlays or any, animations, and, whenever an overlay saying a new follow, none of that's been changed. So at least I can just immediately turn on and just sort of put up the lighting and the webcam and immediately start this live stream. So thank God I decided to basically just stick to what I was playing before. Because there was no way I would have had time to make a, how can I put this, new overlays. Because I did actually promise that I was gonna stream Metal Gear Solid 3, because Metal Gear Solid Delta just come out a few days ago. So I thought, with all the hype surrounding Metal Gear Solid 3 at the moment, because it's one of my favorite games of all time, I seriously considered actually making an overlay, like actually starting a playthrough for that. But on Sunday, you might notice, if you've seen in the schedule specifically, I'm only streaming tonight and tomorrow morning, because on the Sunday I'm going to a gaming meetup in the middle of the city. So basically I'm going to Melbourne, and I'm going to be there for it takes a couple of hours to get there and back. Obviously I have no time to do a Sunday stream on top of that. But, I've got to make as much time for the reviews as it is anyway. Snupper, it is a bit of a shame that most racing games are dull instead of experimenting with random legal festivals around actual tracks like in Need for Speed Pro Street. I feel like the topic of Need for Speed Pro Street gets mentioned at some point in the live stream. I really don't know what else to add. I feel like control-wise, usually my response to that is, it's really been such a long time since I played, and I almost forgot just how different it was. I can't remember why I didn't like it, if that makes sense. I think it was just because maybe it was a little bit more simulation. It was really hard to find the right balance between the two, and also, when I played it on the PlayStation 3, because I used that to review the game back then, I remember it crashing about halfway through the career mode, because I think I updated, removed the update, and then eventually completed the career mode. It actually made isn't it ironic, the update actually made the game even technically worse. TXR and Screamer would turn the tables a bit. Again, that puts into perspective just how out of touch I am. I don't even know what those games are. They haven't fiddled with the original voice lines for Delta, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, well, I don't know. I haven't seen what the remake actually... I can imagine, right now in my head, I imagine it's somewhat a bit like Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, control and gameplay-wise, but obviously with the story and the setting, based on Metal Gear Solid 3, which, when you think about it, that's a really good combination. but you know, I haven't actually played it yet. I feel like I don't know, full retail price for full retail price for a remake sounds utterly ridiculous. I mean, you know, it's Konami, you can get it. I mean, it's Metal Gear Solid. I guess they can kind of get away with it. Might be worth giving Pro Street another chance. It's better than Horizon. It's a better Horizon than the most recent ones. Is it really? Well, you know, I like to go through the rest of the what's wrong with the controller? Oh well. It was so ahead of its time. If we waited to see the next gen consoles, it would have been a lot better state. It would have been interesting. Yeah, I suppose it would have been interesting. It was almost a franchise in the middle of an identity crisis. Like I said, it's been such a long time since I played. I don't really remember much from it, apart from basically being legal, but like closed street racing. That's about it. And obviously control-wise, and having vehicles for specific event types. That I do remember. It's just been a while since I just don't remember. The only thing that being said, I definitely remember Undercover being not very good. No, I haven't actually played it. Pro Street isn't that bad. I mean, I'll have to watch my original review of that game and see if it. I mean, again, it's been what, 7 years since I played it. Maybe, like I was saying, with Undercover, at least it was so bad that I do remember just never wanting to play it again after I finished it. Yeah, it still rings true at the moment. I still got the gameplay footage for the from when I originally reviewed it, so that way I don't actually have to play it again. So if I need footage for Undercover, I'll just use that. I don't want to play it again, guys. And then Shift, that was actually one of the first games I ever got for, I think, yeah, one of the first games I got for my PlayStation 3 back in 2009, which was obviously a lot better in that regard. And then Hot Pursuit 2010 is actually one of my favorites in the franchise. Pugtech, also welcome in. Good to see ya. Don't worry, I didn't miss ya. And then, yeah, Hot Pursuit 2010, the one developed by Criterion, that's actually one of my favorites. I really enjoy that. I'm actually thinking, because I am seriously looking into getting a Nintendo Switch 2 in the future at the moment. I might get it just before I go on holidays in a couple of months. And I think the remaster version of Hot Pursuit would be something to have in my collection, just because I've got a way to be able to play it on the go, because it's really, really good. And of course, Most Wanted, that's probably next in the series for me to review. Shouldn't that be the next game I review after Motorsport 6? I'm not sure. Maybe it can be, because I've got it on the P. Because I've now actually recently got. The thing is, I wanted to wait until I got my hands on a Wii U and PlayStation Vita version of Most Wanted. I just thought, if I'm going to review it, I want to sort of use the more obscure versions of the most obscure consoles to play it with. Because I've got a Nintendo Wii and a PlayStation Vita. I thought that would be that would be a pretty fun way to do it. I do have it on the PC as well, with what's essentially the complete edition, because it was on sale at Steam. I thought for $10 for basically the entire game and plus all its DLC, I thought, yeah, I mean, at least it means I'll have a complete way to review it anyway, so I got nothing to miss out on. At least until they get it taken, unless it gets taken off the store at some. I wouldn't be surprised as of now they're probably taking it off Steam, because it's been because they do that with all their Need for Speed games. Best way to play Pro Street is to play it on King difficulty, since the difficulty is literally in reverse. Easy is the hardest way to play it. Well, King is easy. Did they really botch that? I think I played it on normal difficulty. So does that technically make that normal difficulty as well? Again, sorry, I've got nothing to add to Pro Street because it's been that long since I played. I just remember it being obviously very different from Carbon, obviously Undercover trying to go back to basics, and obviously botched it because, Black Box barely had any staff and time to actually make another game. Tried Shift the other day, absolutely hated it. Of course you did. Cars felt like they gave zero feedback what actually was going on, so I played Dirt Showdown instead. Dirt Show, is hard difficulty, no need to have assist. Well, then I technically beat the game on the hard difficulty back into 20... Oh, when did I review it? It would have been 2018 when I reviewed it, or 2019 thereabouts. I'm not entirely sure. Back when I don't really remember. No, but I thought Shift was a very good one. It was sort of a very decent combination between simulation and arcade, or at least it was one of the first games to have a regular interior view, and I thought that was actually kind of cool. Tactastic, also welcome in. most Shift games, I felt like the rear axle. I think Shift 2 Unleashed felt like it sort of steered a little bit more into the simulation routes, and yeah, I didn't really enjoy it as much. I mean, it was good that it had more content, like more cars and tracks, and also I remember having a classic DLC, which like I had the complete version of Hockenheim, for example. I thought that was kind of cool, but Rec, in most Shift games, I felt like the rear axle. I haven't played Pro Street in 8. Yeah, Pugtag. The last time I played it was when I reviewed it, like over half a day. I mean, well, it was the 2010s when I last played it. I think I do also remember playing it on the PlayStation 2. When I think I did mention this in the review, briefly playing it on the PlayStation 2. Yeah, because a friend of mine brought it over because he was a big Need for Speed fan. He's a big reason why you could say he was part of the reason what got me into like the Need for Speed series in the mid to well, I always liked them, but I didn't become obsessed with them until sort of mid 2000. I think Underground 1 was the one that made me think, holy shit, the Need for Speed series rules. Yeah, I think 3 Hot Pursuit was my introduction. And then Porsche Unleashed on the PlayStation 1, which is obviously the one developed by Eden Games, which is a very different one, uses the V-Rally engine. I thought that it was different. But yeah, Underground was the one where I just thought graphically it was one of the best looking games I had ever seen. I think it was just the blur vision and the vibrant colors. It was just... Underground 1 was definitely, yeah, one of my favorites. And then obviously Underground 2 took the open world approach. And then, gave you even more to do. So that's, again, that could be the reason why it's my favorite in the franchise. One that I really need to replay in the future. It's just a shame that, hopefully licensed music won't be too much of an issue because, I'm live on both Twitch and YouTube. I have no idea how they butchered the difficulty, probably because of the Type 1 year policy and constant mismanagement almost killed the Need for Speed franchise in the early days. I know. Black Box only had like a year to make a game. They were making, I think I said, correct me if I'm wrong, they also developed Skate and NBA Street. It was like a rebooted version, NBA Street, and then they were making Need for Speed games. I just think, you definitely won't be able to, game developers would not be able to make that many games in today's landscape. Fantastic. Yes, greetings indeed. But obviously with technology, obviously graphics and things not being as complex, you could kind of get away with it in the sort of 90s to early 2000s where you could make a game every single year. God only knows, let me put it, it is kind of insane to think, to look back at, how developed, let me put it this way, using the PlayStation 2 as an example, Ratchet and Clank 2002, 03, and 04. There was a game in a trilogy every single year, and then the Tony Hawk series, every single year from the 6th, 7th, generation. Grand Theft Auto 3, 2001. GTA Vice City 2002 and GTA San Andreas 2004. So, but they also developed Manhunt in 2000. I'm talking about Rockstar North specifically. So it's just crazy. I suppose it's because they had the technology, pretty much set for a generation, so they just just make it, based off the game engine that we had, and obviously, graphically things weren't as complicated, trying to, make something on the grind, try and grind something out the same way that they did. It took, how long did it take for them to make Red Dead Redemption, Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption 2? They were on the crunch. They were crunching, they were doing crunch time, and, they had, over 2,000 people working on that game, and it took 7 years for them to make it. So obviously it was worth it. It was worth the effort in the end, depending on who you ask. If you ask one of the developers, they'll probably think it wasn't worth it. But anyway, I digress. This is why games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 6 is obviously another, is probably the most recent example of why games take as long as they do, because the more in detail they are, and the more they want to try, the higher the expectations, the longer they take. They want to obviously make the game incredibly, they want it to be a masterpiece the second you put the game, the disc into the console. And I can say disc into the console because it will be a console exclusive for a year or so. Those were full what the F, I'll just say instead. Those were the Christmas lists. They always be putting the next game in the series for my parents. Yeah, they always release, yeah, they always tend to release games around October or November, and then we just put them on the Christmas list. Here, have you ever played the pre-A black box hockey games? No, I was never an NHL fan. I mean, I am from Australia. We didn't really watch ice hockey growing. That's not really our sport. So no. I think my cousin might have had an NHL game in the sort of early 2000s once. I think that's about it. And I think I also briefly played an EA Sports hockey game on the Mega Drive, which is, yeah, obviously going really far back. But no, I never really, just because ice hockey isn't exactly a popular sport in Australia. The sports I was into were NBA football, AFL football, and also soccer, football, whatever. I just call them both football. And so yeah, if I ever played small games, it will mostly just be on those sports because, well, AFL, that's our national sport, and obviously basketball is a much more global sport. Same with football, soccer, football. That's also a global sport. So obviously, it's a bit more. That's why it was a bit more, easier to get into them. Get into those games. You could say that FIFA and NBA Live games from the PlayStation 2, you could say were guilty pleasures of mine. They're the kind of games that I still kind of like to play. That is something I'll actually mention in the PlayStation 2 panel, coincidentally, because what we're doing with the panel is talking about some of our favorite games, including one about guilty pleasures. So there's a little teaser for in that regard. I'll take a slightly worse graphics to have a faster development cycle. The thing is, though, Tactastic, we're in a period where, let's be brutally honest, people care more nowadays. Nowadays they care more about graphics over gameplay, which is a shame. Trying to get the best PC. I've always been a gameplay first, graphics second person, not graphics last, graphics second. That's different. It's not bottom on the list. But gameplay is the one thing that always makes players go back to it. That's where the replay value comes in. Also, one fact, the Mario football game is on the GameCube. I know about that. I haven't played it yet, Sniper, but I've heard good things about seeing people who previously worked on Black Box. Yeah, it wasn't made in Japan. It wasn't. I heard it was actually a very half-decent game, though. What if the audio suffers? Well, you mean like Gran Turismo 6, pair? Dual Shock Nation, welcome in. It's Steamed Hams here. Gonna name change. Yes, Dual Shock Nation. Steamed Hams. Gonna name change. How you got? Yeah. How are you, Dual? Not. Is that the steamed ham? Is that the steamed hams? I'm think. Is that the DualShock. Yes, I remember now. DualShock. I think DualShock Nation is a name that rings a bell, actually. But yeah, DualShock. I'm doing, and Knuckles. Yes. Yeah, that does actually sound a little bit familiar. But yeah, good to join in on this live stream. Yeah, how have you? How has your week been, and any weekend plans at all? Like I said before, blame people wanting graphics is why we have crap like UE5 ruining games. UE5, I don't even know what that means, but yeah, you get what you guys get what I'm talking about. I think, yeah, people care more about graphics because when you talk about the newer stuff, people talk. It's hard to describe. This is kind of why Nintendo have still kind of remained relevant, because they've always been more of a game. Oh, the Unreal Engine 5 ruining games, right? So it's the engines itself ruining games. I don't know, but like I said, I guess it's part of the reason why Nintendo have kind of stayed a little bit relevant, because they've always, or at least most of their games, have been more gameplay. Just making the gameplay good over graphics, and obviously, relying on the Nintendo IPs, which we all love so much, like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, that sort of thing. Currently playing Crash Bash and hating it right now. Some of these crystals are rough. The thing is, though, DualShock, are you playing this on single player? Because if you play it on multiplayer, it immediately makes the game a lot better. Wreck me while drive clock. Here's the thing, Rec. I recently played Drive Club on the PlayStation 4 just to capture a little bit of gameplay because I want to make a comparison between the night driving between Drive Club and Forza Motorsport 6 because you know, I want to just, yeah, it's like, you know, here's what Forza Motorsport 6 looks like when you're racing at night. How does it compare to the others? And I don't know, it just for some reason makes me think that we kind of take for granted just how good the Forza Motorsport games looked on the Xbox One. I don't know. I just played other racing games, and same with Gran Turismo Sport. I played Forza Motor and then moved to Motorsport 6, and I just thought, this actually looks really, really good for something that came out 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I played all, because I played Gran Turismo Sport, Drive Club, and then played Motorsport 6, and I thought, fucking hell, Motorsport 6 actually looks really well detailed for its time. Because, you know, you got it's not just how sharp the racetracks look, but also just like the little things, like, you know, when you're driving past trees, leaves fall, and then when you're near sand, you know, you get these sand dust. You got helicopters flying around those, and I don't know, there's just a lot of attention to detail on those racetracks. I just think graphically that, yeah, Motorsport 6 is one of the best looking games, you know, best exclusives on the Xbox One specifically. I mean, correct me if I mean, you guys can disagree with me, because obviously some people have their own opinions about Motorsport 6 and 7, especially when it comes to the driver's hard difficulty, but that I can definitely agree is terrible. But yeah, the way it looks and the way the cars drive, I don't know, I really last good. But there you go, at least PugTech thinks, oh, okay, good, thanks, you agree, PugTech. And I'm curious to know what Motorsport 7 will be like. I wonder if it'll just be more of the same thing, and, you know, as in, you know, just like 6, but obviously, you know, some of that content returning, like, you know, Maple Valley, Suzuka, and a few other circuits that weren't in Motorsport 6 that should have been. And obviously the Porsche and NASCAR DLCs now actually being standard in the original game, but obviously is not bad. Basically, it's not bad. Basically, yeah, that's kind of what I'm anticipating. Kind of like Motorsport 6 being sort of like 5.5. It's kind of a funny, it's like you got 4, and then you got 5, and then you got 5.5, and then 6.5. That's really the best way to describe the Forza Motorsport lineage in the Xbox One life cycle. And obviously you got the Horizon titles, which they're their own thing, and they're set on their own, you know, individual maps, and have slightly, and obviously add a few cars based on, you know, the country that it's in. Like obviously, you know, Horizon 3, there's a few more extra Aussie cars. Anyway, looking at the messages, sorry, don't worry, I want to make sure you guys didn't miss out. Single player being, let's say, inspired by watching CAD and NGP. Oh, NG Plus recently 200% the game. You can actually go to 200%. Sorry, Jules Shock. It's been ages since I played. I think, no, actually, I did briefly play Crash Bash with Square Eye Jack at his house. I think the last time, Blackluster, welcome in. Yeah, oh, it's evening where I am at the moment. It's 8:40 p.m. The weekend's just started, but I hope you're having a good morning regardless. Bad idea, I reckon. But yeah, I just realized playing multiplayer it's a party game. Obviously, it's gonna be a better experience when you play it with more than one player. But yeah, I'm just thinking, yeah, that's right. I was with Square Eye Jack and friends. We did actually play Crash Bash, and it was it? Yeah, I think it was 4 players, actually. It was and it was actually much more, and obviously it was much more enjoyable. But yeah, I reviewed Crash Bash, I think, in 2017. It's been, I'm just thinking, I definitely played with more than one player to at least, yeah, for the review. I think it was Crash Bash, and then Mass Effect Andromeda was the next review, which is obviously a complete shift in 20 minutes to noon. Yeah, so almost afternoon where you are. Well, where I am, it's playing. You should play as Blur. Is it a 4? I'm talking. So it's a co-op. So 4 players is co-op. Or are you talking about online? It's ridiculously hard. The AI is crap. It can get hard. No doubt about it. I'm getting some practice before I start streaming it myself. Good luck, Dual Shock. I guess I think I've got an emulated copy of Crash Bash. But again, it's the kind of game you can only really play when you got split screen multiplayer. How did I actually? I'm just thinking, because I borrowed it off. So I'm just thinking, how did I actually review it? Because way back, because I definitely remember borrowing it off someone, but don't remember who. It was definitely not Jack, because we hadn't met each other in person up to that point. It might have been it probably might have been one of my best friends from primary school who every once in a while, I think once every once or twice a year, he might appear in this chat. But someone who I've been close friends with since primary school, I probably might have borrowed the game off him. Maybe I really can't remember. I mean, if I did a react to a Crash Bash review, I'd be probably spending most of my time thinking, how did I actually get because I actually did get a legitimate copy of Crash Bash on the PlayStation 1 to review it, because there was no digital copy or anything like that. It's ridiculous. I've heard about the working conditions and stuff, but it can't be denied. It was yet another good-looking game with performance issues. Which game were you talking about? Scene factors in Rocket. I think in my opinion, overtime and crunch time should only be allowed if the developer wants to do it. That's just is rally racing a big thing in Australia? Well, we used to have we did have a WRC event on the calendar in Australia for a bit of a long stretch. So yeah, a little bit, I would say. I mean, I don't mind. Yes, exactly, PugTech. I'd say a little bit. I mean, if it was something that was on, let's say, KO Sports, I probably would watch it, but I don't think it is. I feel like Dakar is a little bit more popular than World Rally Championship in Australia. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, PugTech, but it helps that the Dakar is actually on free TV, so, and you actually have Australians, competing. Motorbike trials are more popular. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like enduro events. Exactly, Pug. There you go. So, yeah, Dakar and enduro race. I think the Desert Fink, which is like Australia's version of the Dakar, and V8 Supercars is more the Aussie thing. That too. Funny enough, yeah, so much so, Ghost Rider, that I'm actually going to one at Surfers Paradise in a couple of months. I did it in 2022, doing it again. I think I've already mentioned this countless, but, I've mentioned that countless times now. But that's also, like one of the other reasons. I'm going to go straight into the game, by the way. We will continue this conversation, of course, but I'm going to get into the video game now while I'm at it. Twitch overlay, just chatting. That's the one. Here we go. We might as well just get into it while we're here. It's alright, guys. We'll continue this conversation. I just got to turn down low enough so you can at least still hear me, because I'm turning on the in-game. Yes, I'm turning on the in-game, Oh, I also love this music as well. In South Australia, the only place that's a proper 24-hour dirt bike is a reliable trial. Yeah, oh, you mean like 24 hours. Isn't there also, there's also a, is there a Bathurst 24-hour event as well? Yes, it is. To start with, Lackluster, you couldn't be any more right. That would be an understatement. But I've already gone past the slog bit of it for the most part, so. I might just turn it down. How's the volume? Is it a bit loud for you guys? How's the volume of the music and the in-game? The volume of the game and the music itself. They haven't run a Bathurst. Oh, it's no. Sorry, 12. Sorry, or is it a 12-hour that I'm thinking of? Or is it a 12-hour? It's okay. It's okay. Okay, that's good, because it's really. I think my favorite Gran Turismo is 6. No, you're not crazy at all. I'm sure you have your reasons. Let me put it this way, Pear. A lot of people, I mean, can I just say, I think objectively, Gran Turismo 4 is better than 3 in terms of the amount of content it has, but subjectively, 3 is my favorite in the franchise just because of how simple it is and, just how, basically it's just subjective. Being my introduction to the PlayStation 2 and just the soundtrack and the way the car's controlled just feels very simple and straightforward to get into. Yeah, I thought so, DualShock. Yeah, it's a 12-hour. It's a 12-hour one now. Because I know they do have a Bathurst race, and they also do a 6-hour one as well. And obviously, there's the Bathurst 1000 in the supercars. I've actually been to the Bathurst circuit in person, actually driven around it, and I can tell you right now, when you're there in person, going up the hill, and back down it again, it's so much steeper than it looks. When you're playing in a video game, you don't think it's only when you're there in person. It's a bit like, I don't know, the Laguna Seca corkscrew. Once you see it in person, it's a lot steeper than it actually looks. It feels more like a game. Exactly lackluster. It feels like, obviously, you got to control the car, like you got to brake, you got to understeer, you got to oversteer. It's the perfect balance between, the perfect balance between arcade and simulation, in my opinion. That's probably why it's one of my favorites. Might just turn it up a touch. Just a touch, so you can at least... That sounds a bit better now. Gran Turismo 6 millimeter, it's just... Well, in terms of quantity pair, oh my god, it is unlike any other... It's like, it's certainly, it's right up there as, like, it's certainly no other video game I've ever played. Like, 1,000... Like, an official game, no mods, on a PlayStation 3, and you have 1,300 cars in, like, 50 different circuits. It's just... Yeah, the amount of content that game has is absolutely insane. And I don't know any other video game that's going to come close to that, I reckon. Like, even, I mean, like, how many, Gran Turismo 7 doesn't even have half that number. And that's more from your Gran Turismo cars. I mean, maybe. I mean, apart from Formula Gran Turismo cars, is it really that much different, though? I think the license tests are slightly... I think in the PAL region, they're a little bit harder as well. But you still at least get cars as quick as, you actually get, Formula 1 cars are worse than in Gran Turismo 5. Well, that's the thing, PogTech. I usually just stick with premium cars regardless. And Horizon 5 topped out with 901 cars. Did it really go through? Does it have 901 cars? Bloody hell, that's a good effort. Then again, how many of those models are from the 360 games? That is something that I do mention in the Motorsport 6 review. I am starting to notice how a lot of the models are basically imported from the 360. I mean, not as obvious as a standard car in the Gran Turismo games on the PlayStation 3, because obviously you got in detailed interiors. They're all very unique. It doesn't suffer 75 creds in North America, man. I don't think I need the Acura RSX though. So yeah, we're doing the Japanese National Championship, I think, whatever it's called. You're forced to have one. Saying that you're forced to buy a car in 6, and I'm like, boo-hoo, you're forced to have one car. I mean, to get started, it does seem a bit... I will say, at the very least, it doesn't set a very good first impression, but... I just figured with the amount of credits, it's like, come on. I don't know, that feeling... I mean, to start with, though, I mean, and then you can just use whatever you want from that point out, so... HD textures are still fine. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're graphically, both the 360 and Xbox One were in full high definition. Obviously, the Xbox One just added, obviously you can do a lot more with that same resolution. So that's what I mean by it kind of got away with it. Didn't feel like blatantly upscaled. Again, you had the interior views, and they obviously did a little bit to clean up the graphics. So they at least almost look like 8th gen model. Car models, if that makes sense. 6 saw and to force you through a funnel. Sorry guys, I'm trying to look at the chat at the same time. Don't look at your phone while driving, guys. Most cars are new cars, however, movie star cars aside that Forza Horizon is starting to show stream failure. I'm curious to know as well, in Forza Horizon 5, that number of cars, nearly 900, is that the same number in the Forza Motorsport 2020? Yeah, the Motorsport 8, I like to call it. The one that came out in 2023. Because I'm still, I want to wait till that no, I thought not. But you think, it's like, they got the models from the Xbox One, which technically are on the Series X, because Horizon 5 is on the Series X. It has even less, which... which you think because of the cars Horizon 5 had, and they were on the Xbox Series X, just copy them into Motorsport 8. Maybe it's a bit more. It's probably not as straight. I know it's probably not as straightforward as it sounds. I'm just saying that because there were a lot of cars from Horizon 2 that were imported into into Motorsport 6. This one doesn't even come close. It has no content. Maybe that was, who knows, maybe. Well, that's something that I will mention if I ever review it. Ghost Rider. Seems utterly ridiculous. Really, I'm very curious to know I'm curious to know what I will think about it, because obviously the Pro Critics score say it's almost on par with like 6 and 7, but everybody shits on it, so it's like, okay, I really don't know what to make of that. If I do review it, I will use the Series X version, of course, because I've heard that the PC, maybe that's probably, you could say that's another part of why people didn't like it so much, because it was a bit more unstable on the PC. Hello, just somebody who re-reviews a long time. Sorry, I can't pronounce your username. I do apologize for that, but yeah, welcome in. Yes, and I'm playing a game that I probably re-reviewed more than once at this point. Wreck, built from the ground up. Claiming that it's built from the ground. Of course it wasn't built from the ground. It wasn't built from the ground up. It wasn't. Don't bother with Motorsport 8. Well, lackluster, if I ever, chronologically, I'm up to Motorsport 6, and then Horizon 3, and then Motorsport 7, then Horizon 4, and then Horizon 5. Motorsport 8. Once I get to Motorsport 8, I'm gonna have to review it, and what I think about it, good or bad. I mean, it'll certainly make for an interesting review. I wonder how much Microsoft paid for that. But then again, Pug Tech, how what else? I mean, what other racing game was there in 2023 that was better? And 10 is... Sorry, I'm really trying my best to pronounce your username correct, because appreciate you joining in. The Crew, you mean the... that's right, the new Crew game. That same year, EA Sports WRC, but reviewing Motorsport now as opposed to its release date would actually make it look far better. And that's another thing, Ghost Rider. This is one of the reasons why I don't usually review games brand new these days, because most of them aren't really 100% finished. I might just... Crew Motorfest, that's right. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I'd really like to do a Hot Wheels review one. Maybe Hot Wheels Turbo Racing on the PlayStation. That was the Hot Wheels game I grew up playing. That could make for a good review after Motorsport 6. Anyway... In case you're wondering where this music comes from, this is actually exclusive to Gran Turismo, so I can actually get away with playing this on YouTube Live and not get a copyright claim. PAX is... I can't believe PAX is less than 2 months away. That also means my marathon is less than 2 months away. I can't believe how much time flies when you're having fun, guys. Oh, God. Look at the... Paint... Yes! Safety... Yes. Safety first. Pay attention to the roads, Benny. I just want to make sure you guys don't get left out in the chat. I like to pay attention to every message. EA Sports WRC is another game I've also really seriously looked into getting. Because, copies for those games are actually quite cheap at the moment. And obviously, it's the only one, it's the latest one in the series. And they obviously made an update for the 24 season. And they also have classic rally cars in there as well. So, and it's developed by Codemasters, who, developed the Colin McRae, Rally and Dirt titles as well. So obviously they know a bit about rally racing. It's a very good game. Yeah, makes sense. I think it was the first WRC title in the series, because Nacon, I think is how you pronounce Nacon, and Evolution Studios developed the WRC. So this is the first time Codemasters were the ones. It seems a bit weird. In a way, you got the developers behind, the Dirt series and Colin McRae Rally developing a WRC title as well. They're like the only... Saturday evening is welcome. How is your weekend? Any weekend plans at all? I need to send a friend request to you actually Saturday, because I'm going to be in Brisbane in a couple of months from now. Actually, we'll have to catch up in person while I'm up there. They got the WRC license back. Makes sense. Again, whenever I see that replay, guys, that smoke... I like the heat that comes off the cars. For a 2001 game, it was the heat, and then when the cars go... It's just so clean and crisp, this game. It's a big reason why this game... I mean, yes, helped by the upscaled PlayStation 2 emulator. Had a comedy show in the city last night, stayed away at some fancy hotels, so I've been chilling all day. It's always good being in a... It's just, as long as the bed... I think when it comes to fancy hotels, as long as the bed is good to sleep on, that's the most important thing for me. And it's also a king-size bed as well that I like, or at least a queen size. I demand that now that I've got my own house. I've been spending pretty much at least 80% of my life with a double bed, and now having my own queen bed. It's just... Oh, he's gonna hit the camera, man! Anyway, next race. Evolution. Yeah, I thought so, Rek. Yeah, World Rally Championship on the PS2. The very first one was actually one of the first games I reviewed on my channel. It was like in 2016. Milestone WRC games were awful. Yeah, hence why everybody was only focused on the dirt and dirt rally titles, because Codemasters did a better job. Playing Sega GT on the Dreamcast. Holy shit, looks like a PS1 game compared to Gran Turismo 3. Makes sense, though. I mean, the Dreamcast is graphically superior to the PS1, but inferior to the PS2. If that makes sense. You think, if you don't mind, can you put a message in writing about how to actually pronounce your username correctly? As I was saying, but anyway, I think it comes down to I guess some games on the PlayStation 2 feel too upscale, like feel too blatantly upscaled, rather than remastered versions of PS2 games like this one. Ant. Okay, Ant. Thanks. Yeah, Ant. I guess because I guess there are some games that just look blatantly upscaled and then start having graphical issues. Disagree, which I don't know why I'm playing. I mean, I don't know, mate. I guess, I mean, nah, the PS2 does look better. I've only played, I mean, the only way I can play Dreamcast games is on an emulator, which, you know, when I use the emulator, I use the graphics settings to make it look like as if it's playing native, like, you know, 480p, and it's running natively on a, you know, the graphics, you know, the graphical resolution of an actual Dreamcast. And I use an Xbox Series X control, which, you know, layout-wise is almost similar to a Dreamcast controller. It's when you're too early from a technological evolution. Almost, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so, lackluster. And obviously, the PlayStation 2 had the huge advantage of, yeah, PlayStation being a big name, you know, a big brand in itself, you know, with the PS1 being a humongous success, and also having a DVD player as well. That was also a big sell, because the PlayStation 2 was, at that time, the cheapest DVD, because DVD players was becoming the norm for watching movies, and it was cheaper to get a PlayStation 2 to use as a DVD player, and you could play video games on it. So it's like, well, I mean, the choice is obvious, right? You're going to get a PlayStation 2 to play movies with. And I used to, I mean, we did have a DVD, no, actually, we got a DVD player before a PlayStation 2, which, for the life of me, I can never understand why my parents didn't just get a PlayStation 2, but we did eventually get one in 2006. I think, no, the DVD player might have been cheaper at that time, by 2004, because I remember we got a DVD, I think, 2003, 2004, I'm not sure. I love the Dreamcast, but man, his fans can be downright toxic. The way I see it, PugTech, there's a toxic fan base for every console type and every generation. You can be super defensive about, you know, consoles that are a little bit more obscure. Do you reckon it might be just a Sonic or a Sega thing? Maybe, I don't know. I didn't grow up with the Dreamcast because, you know, I had a Mega Drive, but I did not know anybody. I honestly don't know a single person who actually had a Dreamcast growing up as a kid. Not one person. You probably know that, PugTech. Not many people in Australia would have bought one. Everyone just had a PlayStation 1 or a Nintendo 64, and then eventually PlayStation 2, and then some people had an Xbox, some people had a GameCube, but a lot of people had a PlayStation 2. I get pretty defensive about the Saturn. I think this again, the Saturn. I mean, I was too young probably. I mean, and again, nobody I knew had a Sega Saturn. I have played a Gran Turismo or Need for Speed. There you go, Foxcat. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'd probably go with Gran Turismo, I reckon. I feel like they've got a lot more consistently good games, and it's the only one in the it's the only franchise that has at least one game that's in my top 5. I would say I did never grow up with one, but I got it. It's awesome, but PS2 killer, yeah. But a PS2 killer, no. I'd say it's the other way around. No, it probably ended the competition for the Dreamcast. Next door neighbor kid had a Sega Dreamcast. That's the only one I've seen in the flesh. The only one I've ever seen in the flesh are just at game expos. That's about it. Every once in a while I might see one game on a shelf for sale at a retro game store, but that's about it. Jeez, I didn't think I'd be talking this much. I've been drinking so much water. Gym, work, and now streaming. But water's good for you, so it's certainly not a bad thing. My brother, my brother was on holidays in the UK actually, because around the late 2010s. He went on. I'm just thinking, he went on the train that went from what's that train that goes from China to Moscow? That train that goes along basically the whole Siberian train. He went along that, went to Moscow, and then flew to Germany and then hung around the UK for a bit. He actually came with he actually had the opportunity to buy a Sega Dreamcast, and I remember decline, and he to give it to me as a birthday present. I actually declined it, and I told him I don't think I would play the console enough to justify having one in my collection, because there are a lot of games on the a lot of the best games on the Dreamcast that you can get on other consoles. Like Sonic Adventure, you can just get on like the GameCube, PC, and also on Steam. Obviously, it doesn't play as well as a regular Dreamcast, but you can like mod it to fix it. Soul Calibur, you can play that on the PS2 or Xbox. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Daytona USA 2001, I suppose this is an exclusive. Trans-Siberia, that's the one, PugTech. Yeah, my brother went on that before. Yeah, my brother's been all over the world. I'm kind of jealous. But yeah, he started at China and arrived at Moscow, and then he flew to Germany to meet up with a friend of his, and then flew to the UK. That would have been one hell of a trip going over there when it was still called the Soviet Union. I've always been fascinated by the history behind Soviet Union history, actually. At least recently, anyway. The only time I've ever played a Dreamcast was a demo unit at a Walmart or an EB Games. No, I've never even done that either, Tactastic. I'm just thinking, there were demos of the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, but never PS1 or Nintendo 64. I think I was probably too young. Yeah, the Dreamcast controller. I know the D-pad can be very sharp. And also, the analog stick has a very big dead spot, even on new ones. Yeah, my grandparents were... so you're of Soviet descent, I'm guessing. Yeah, sort of Russian descent, PugTech. Or at least on the Eastern Bloc area. Still has some pretty solid exclusive, given how hard it is to get some game. There's also... I suppose there's I heard that the 2K sport games are also, like, exclusive to the Dreamcast, but, the NBA 2K game, like the very first ones exclusive, were supposedly very good on that console as well, like British, German. Oh, East German, maybe East German. Or they just can't, or would they do they just believe in communism? PugTech. I suppose there was a little bit of British communism around the 70s by that point. Creeped in a little bit. I don't know. Yep, fair enough. Obviously, they had their own beliefs. Brook converter and Xbox controller is the best way to play the Dreamcast. Yeah, I just use it. Yeah, Yeah, Ghost Rider. What I do is just use a Dreamcast emulator with an Xbox Series X control. That's how I play. Like, if I ever do play a Dreamcast game here on Twitch or I review one, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm just looking... In fact, I might just look at the collection of games that I've currently got at the moment. I might just turn it down so I can hear myself talk a little bit better. On the Dreamcast, I've currently got Test Drive Le Mans, Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles, Sega GT, Metropolis Street Racer, Grand Theft Auto 2. Yes, GTA on Sega Dreamcast. Yes, really. Daytona USA 2001 and Crazy Taxi at the moment. I had a PS2 Slim since birth, which was then replaced with the Slim 360 in 2010, which I have to this day. I wouldn't say it. The thing is, though, I didn't get those consoles until late in its life cycle. The PS1 I didn't get... No, the PS1 late in its life... We didn't get a PS1 until 2000. It was the slim one, the PS1. You know, O-N-E, spelt like that. PS2, late 2006. And I think the PlayStation 3 was the first console I ever got in the prime of... You know, like, at the height of its popularity. Obviously, I mean, it was between that and the 360, but I had more... There were more people... There was actually a few more people that had a PlayStation 3 over an Xbox 360, so I could borrow games off them to at least get started. So that's why I picked the PlayStation 3 over the Xbox 360. You were born in 2006. Right, yeah. CD, yeah. It was... And I think that was another thing that made me pick a PlayStation 3, being able to watch Blu-ray movies on it as well. You were deprived... Wow, you were deprived, Smitty. The first time I ever played an N64 was at Toys R Us. Well, I did have family and friends that did have those consoles when they were relatively new. I had access to a Mega Drive through my grandparents, and a couple of people had one as well that had their own games. Nintendo 64, my cousin had one. PlayStation, cousin from my mother's side, maternal cousin had a Nintendo 64. Paternal cousin had a PlayStation 1, so I had access to both. Xbox tried CD HD, but it was crap. CD HD? Don't you mean DVD HD? The Dreamcast games were GD-ROMs, and obviously, yeah, PlayStation 2 made the right decision in using DVDs, and, you know, making it, like I said before, Tactastic, it was a big part of, you know, why PlayStation 2 was so successful. It was really good because, you know, DVDs were also becoming the norm, and there were cheaper DVD players than actual regular DVD players. It made them slightly more unreliable, but, yeah, being able to play DVD movies and play the newest games was certainly not a bad deal. I think for Xbox, Xbox 360 specifically. Did anyone know it launched with anyone? Do you know anyone with a launch edition? Yes, lackluster. That said paternal cousin had one of the first PlayStation 3 models in Australia, and it was backwards compatible with PS2 games. And it stopped, and he told me he doesn't have it anymore because it stopped working, because, yeah, it does have a reputation for being unreliable. So, sadly, yes, but not anymore. A GD DVD. I heard that GD DVDs were actually easy to rip. I think that was also another part of why the Dreamcast actually failed commercially, because it was easy to rip the games. At least back then, anyway. So I can't imagine it being easier today. Yes, that one. Yes, that one. They are crazy expensive these days. Because, yeah, DualShock, having a console that can play PS1, 2, and 3 in one go is not easy to come by. Bomb, John, welcome in. Yeah, Dreamcast, welcome in as well. Yeah, Dreamcast was renowned for being easy. Yeah, I thought so. First models was software emulation, not hardware. I know Pug Tech, but we didn't. Yeah, Australia never got one of those hardware emulated. Those PS3 consoles that used hardware emulation. I think it was, the only one that one that had software emulation for the PS2 games. That was the only one that was the only PS3 model that basically allowed PS2 backwards compatibility in Australia. My cousin, that was the one that he had. And it was, I'll never forget this. Obviously, things have changed back then. But in 2007, because it came out in 2007 in Australia, early 2007, consoles were like over $1,000. It was just, oh my god, that's what initially made me think, I don't even want a PlayStation 3 if it's going to cost that much. And this was just months after we got a PlayStation, a PlayStation 2 in the household. It's like, oh my god, we're never going to get a console like that in the household ever. Then obviously they made the slim version, which took away the backwards compatibility for the PS2 and made it like half the price. It's just like, okay, now it's a bit more, that's a little bit more realistic now. Because I think that was a big part of what made it so expensive. The hardware was just so complicated. Like, even at that price, Sony were you know, they were basically making a loss, even with that price, because it was such a complicated bit of tech. Anyway, I think that's the last race of the championship as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 50 points. That's it. Yep. Australian Alien. It's like we just came back full circle. I haven't got a PlayStation. It's the Pro version that's worth 1,000 if I'm not mistaken, right? I might just create a save state in case there's a car. Sorry, in case there's a car that I don't want in the randomizer in the prize car bits. Give me something that I'll actually want to drive. Is that the best car you can get, the FTO? Or can you actually get a better price car than that? I just made a save state, so obviously I can change my mind and then try again. It was patched out with, Dreamcast with no, consuming, just like burning a CD, but no idea what I had one. But yeah, I just remember back then it being easy. But yeah, adjusted for a PlayStation PS3 is about 1,000. Yeah. And this was over, keep in mind, this was over $1,000 in 2007. You didn't consider a 360 in 2007? That was still, to be frank, that year was still the Red Ring Pro. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because I had a PlayStation 1 and 2, for some reason, I just had this brand loyalty to the PlayStation, so I just thought, and again, you know, the Blu-ray player was tempting as well. Oh, we got a resub. Rodriguez. 5,200. Thank you for 2 months in a row. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for 2 months. I really appreciate it. How are you, Rodriguez? I haven't heard from you. It's been a while since I've heard from you. Thank you so much for 2 months. Yeah, how have you been? Has been a while. Yes, thanks again for the sub. Really appreciate it. I mean, technically we just completed the championship, so hearing that bit of music there only makes sense. I'm just thinking the American championship with the Mustang. Oh, hang on. No cars are. Oh, my Skyline can actually compete in this. I might as well just compete in the American championship with with the Skyline GTR. I would have thought American cars would have been exclusive. Thanks, Rodriguez. Thanks for joining in. So you've subscribed for 2 months, and yet this is the first time you're chatting. That's a bit of a surprise. Unless you probably came in from YouTube specifically. But yeah, Rodriguez, thanks for joining in. Because I remember, I do remember you subbing actually. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a message from you. But yeah, good to hear. You're great, of course. Don't need to ask if you played Gran Turismo 3 or not, because if you love the videos, I'm assuming Gran Turismo 3 is review of that is one of them. 2010 was when I got a PS3 since the console became cheaper. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much same story. Late 2009, saved up all my birthday money when I turned 15. Just all my birthday money. Had a small party. Everyone was giving me. I just, continued to save. I think I did chores around for other people as well to get that extra bit of cash to save up for. It was the first console I ever bought with my own money, actually. The PlayStation 3 came bundled with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare because I put a shit ton of hours into it on the PC, but it didn't run really well on my old school laptop, so I wanted to play it on a console that could run really smoothly, and put a lot of hours into it as a result, even on multiplayer. And then at the end of 2009, my other cousin, this is a completely different one, gave me his copy of Heavenly Sword, which was not too bad. Not as good as God of War, but still not too bad as a video game. What else did it come with? Oh, sorry. What else did I buy just before the end of 2009? I bought. Oh yeah, I went on the Great Ocean Road. Yeah, I did the Great Victorian Bike Ride. Came back and then bought a copy of Grand Theft Auto 4, of course. Yeah, that was actually one of the first games I got for the PlayStation 3. And then for Christmas, I got both. Okay, I got 2 games for Christmas from my parents: Need for Speed Shift and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So yeah, that was my introduction to Modern Warfare 2. I got it as a Christmas present in 2009. So Mom and Dad, thank you so much. That was a really lovely present. Because yeah, I put a lot of hours into both those games. So yeah, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2, Heavenly Sword, Need for Speed Shift, and GTA 4. That is a pretty good set of video games to start with. Didn't get much. I played a bunch of Shift, Burnout Paradise, and Midnight Club LA. That is a that is a pretty good way to start. Yeah, to start a PlayStation 3 as well. Yeah, and Gran Turismo 5 would come out at the end. Yeah, would come out a year later. I remember reading news about that. Was also partly the other reason why I wanted to get a PlayStation 3, so I can also play Gran Turismo 5. Didn't get a 360 until the Elite came out, and I didn't get a PS3 until the Slim came out. Yeah, my I need that hydrate. I was just about to hydrate without the redeem. Actually, Tactastic. So thanks for that. I feel like I've been talking non-stop here, guys. This is crazy, but this is what happens when you play a racing game. We have more to talk about, and no cutscenes or anything like that. So it's just my own voice. Pretty much on YouTube. Gran Turismo 3, one of my favorites. Good thing I'm playing it for you guys, and thank God I'm out of the slog bit of the playthrough. What was I saying before? What else? Yeah, my Slim. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, okay. So that PlayStation 3 I got in 2009. Unfortunately, wasn't the most reliable console in the world. Either that, or maybe I just put so many hours into it that maybe playing it too much might have caused it to just break. I think the problem was the disc reader just refused to stop reading discs, and I tried to fix the problem myself. I didn't make it worse or anything, but it didn't fix it. So in 2014, I replaced it with a Super Slim, which came bundled with The Last of Us, and I think it was like half a terabyte as well. The hard drive was like half a terabyte as well. So, and that console still works to this day. So fortunately, that one was a lot more reliable, despite having the opening thing, which has like an open flap thing, as opposed to just pressing a disc and the disc comes out. You had like a top. You had to basically open up the flap and then close it by basically you're sliding it. You have to slide the top to actually close it. I thought that was something that was just bound to break after a year or two, but having the console for 11 years now and still working. No, it's actually been quite reliable. Although it could have been partly helped by the fact that like half a year after I got that Super Slim, I created ColourShed Productions and played around with a lot of other different consoles as well. So PlayStation 3 didn't get as high of a usage compared to other consoles. It wouldn't surprise me. I guess the Xbox Series X is a current example of that. Overusing it because it's been so handy for like backwards compatibility and just for the newest games if I didn't need to use them on the PC. And as for the Xbox 360, I didn't get that until the Xbox 360e. That was and I didn't get I reviewed Xbox games and started reviewing them in 2018, but I didn't get my own console until 2020. So yeah. Anyway, that's what happened to my first 3. The laser went out. Nobody told me this. It was so unreliable. I mean, maybe I just got unlucky lackluster because I have one of my best friend that I mentioned before, the one that lent me his copy of Crash Bash. I digress. He has the same PlayStation 3 Slim, and that one still works. So maybe I just got unlucky. Second PS3 Sim since back in 2008. Self-destruct, self-playing, test drive unlimited 2 on hot day. A big game on a hot day. Yeah, that was quite the challenge. But I can vouch for the Super Slim being reliable because I've had that for 11 years and it still works completely fine. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. my cousin Slim could output HDMI with no audio. So yeah, maybe, yeah, there you go. Maybe that Slim is not the most reliable. The Super Slim is obviously better. Helped by... Oh, you got a free replacement from Sony. Yeah, mine wasn't a free replacement, annoyingly. Maybe because it was 5 years and maybe the warranty had been out by that point. But Xbox though, crap. Everyone had broke. Crap, everyone you had has broken. Yeah, the Xbox, I must confess, the Xbox 360e that I have isn't the most... It's more the... I have to say, it's probably more the controller than the console itself. But yeah, there have been a couple of occasions where it would say you would overheat after just turning it on after 1 minute. And I would have to basically just turn it straight back on again. And then it would never do it again. It did it for actually a bit of a stretch when I was playing Need for Speed Underground 2 on the 360... Like... through backwards compatibility on the OG. I was playing the OG Xbox copy on the 360 by backwards compatibility. But it was doing it a fair bit when I was playing, which is why I haven't really played my Xbox 360 console that much since then. And why I'm probably going to start resorting a little bit more to OG Xbox backwards emulation instead. Try and figure out how to get it going, because you need a BIOS file for that, so I'll try and work it out. Because the 360 I've been using a fair bit when it, and obviously it's been very handy that the Xbox Series X is backwards compatible with a lot of really good 360 games, so I can just use my newest console in that regard. Or was it a 360? I think it was a 360. Yeah, I borrowed. Yeah, lackluster. The one. Yeah, like I said before, I was reviewing 360 games since 2018. I was actually borrowing that console. That was the S. Had the smaller power button. Yes. Maybe I got the... I'm sure the Xbox 360... The Xbox 360e is the one that looks like an Xbox One. Hang on. I'm sure the E is the one... Yeah, the E is the one that resembles more closely to an Xbox One. That's the one I've currently got in my collection. Obviously, the S is the one that I borrowed of a friend for a couple of years before I eventually got my own console. There we go. Honestly, original Xbox emulation is sick. From what I've been hearing, though, I've seen Dustin Eden actually played the OG Xbox emulator. That recently it's actually gotten a lot better over the last last month or two. So I thought I might have to consider it. Funny enough, from PS3 it was just after the warranty, but they were nice enough to still consider it after the warranty. Apparently, there's even PS4 emulation. I'm not even going to bother with PS4 emulation at this rate because I mean we still got full high definition on the PS4, and also PlayStation 5. PS4 games are backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5. Just get a PlayStation 5. That's a lot more straightforward. Unless you're like Lance McDonald and really desperately need the 60 frames per second mod for Bloodborne. Just wanted to make that reference because Lance is a friend of ColourShed Productions, so... And he knows the thing about PlayStation 4 modding after all. At least you can play Midtown Madness 3. Yes, I know. I can never understand why Midtown Madness 3 is not backwards compatible on the 360. It was like, it's one of my favorite it's one of my favorite driving games on the OG Xbox. I loved that as a kid. It's one of the few games I really enjoyed. That's why I don't have it in my collection at the moment. It's like, well, I haven't got a way to play it yet. What's the point of... I mean, maybe when I do see it in the future, I probably will just buy it anyway, because, because I like it. I really want to review the Midtown Madness games, like 1, 2, and as well as 3. Come up with an all-black PS5. I'm probably not going to get one. Yeah, Tactastic. The only thing that's making me want PS4 emulation is basically just Bloodborne emulation at this point. Which, yeah. I think it's something, yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, or Drive. I think Drive Club is another game that's also on an emulator as well, because it is exclusive to the PlayStation 4. But yeah, I'm only going to get a PlayStation 5 just to review Gran Turismo 7, so buying a whole console just sounds ridiculous. Fortunately, Square Eye Jack has told me that he's willing to let me borrow his PlayStation 5 just so I can review Gran Turismo 7, so that saves me, like, at least, 3/4 of it. That saves me about $750 in that regard. So the only thing I need to get is just my own copy of GT7. Because he says he never really uses his PlayStation 5 that often. So you should consider trying Drive Club. I've already got it in my collection. I've already played a little bit of it lackluster. I actually recorded a bit of gameplay for because I'm reviewing Motorsport 6. I want to make a graphics comparison of what nighttime racing looks like. Drive Club, another game, Gran Turismo Sport, and then what does it look like on Motorsport 6 by comparison. GT7 isn't even close to being the best GT, so it wouldn't even be wise to buy a whole console solely for that game. Not to mention another racing wheel. Is it worth getting? Because some racing wheels, they only work on a PlayStation, and then you got other, like for example, Logitech. It's only compatible with the PlayStation 5, or it's only compatible with an Xbox and PC. I think is it still a worthy review if I played Gran Turismo 7 with just a PlayStation 5 controller and didn't use a racing wheel? Or does the racing wheel really make it? Is the racing wheel really that much of a difference maker? What I really need to do is get my racing wheel working on this game that I'm playing right now. Jeez, I'm going to lose my voice at the end of this live stream. I can't stop talking. I mean, graphically, control-wise, is pretty good. I haven't really played much Gran Turismo 7. I only briefly played a couple of times at Game Expo, so that's about it. Wheels shouldn't be necessary for console games. Okay. Because I would be curious to know what it's like. I wonder if, there are some games where I think, like the wheel, well, better with wheel, although controller is still perfect. Like, let me put it this way. I know that with my brief experience playing Gran Turismo 7, you can't exactly brake while cornering, and obviously unique vibration of, like brake and acceleration, kind of like, the Forza Motorsport games on the Xbox One. That's how I play GT7, can't afford a rig set up with a wheel and no space to even use it with a small unit. I mean, what I would use is just, I'd happily just use this tape, just use this table right in front of me and just use the pads for that. I don't even need a special rig, just the steering wheel, that's all I need. If I ever do get a racing wheel though, it'd be most likely, if I got a new one, it would be for my Xbox Series X, just because I've got all the Forza games in my collection, a couple of other racing games, to actually justify getting one. That's how I play. I played the game on my friends in the split screen races despite never playing anything but GT4. So it's a pretty good, so it is actually a good experience to have, Gran Turismo experience. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now. Sorry guys, I need a minute just to get, I just need a minute to stop talking because I'm talking so much. I don't usually talk this much outside, in the real world. Mitsubishi Mirage.
I'm thirsty.
I definitely need that. And look at this replay. What other racing games have I got? Hang on, I'll actually look at my, because I've got an app that has all the lists, so I don't have to basically turn around. Where's my... I don't know, we're in an American Championship despite, again, that heat effect when you go around. Has anyone got the phone app Game Eye? Where you can actually have a list of all the games that you got in your collection? Because that's all the PS2 games I've got at the moment. But has anyone actually, because that's actually a very good app to have in terms of just keeping an eye on the type of different games to make sure you don't get one. I'm just looking at the games that I've got in my like the driving games. Okay, all the Forza games. I've also got Hot Pursuit, the remastered version, the one developed by Criterion but remastered. Need for Speed Rivals, Need for Speed Unbound as well. So I just feel like I've got enough racing games to justify getting the Xbox One, because it also works on the PC as well. So you got Assetto Corsa and iRacing all set as well. You know what? I should install GameEye. I have GameEye, but I still prefer price charting. For my play. Yeah, GameEye is just the one. Yeah, is what I use. Yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, well, GameEye is just the one. Yeah, it's just the one that I use. It's a good thing to have. Just have all the covers of all the games that you got, and then have them all. Yeah. So you can just keep an eye on what you've actually got and seeing. It's basically just to give you a log of all the games that you've got in your collection, but all compiled onto your phone. But yeah, I follow GameEye on social media, so... Yeah, by the way, guys, sorry, I'm just going through my Xbox One. Sorry, I'm looking at my Xbox One. Like, as you can see, guys, Sekiro is on there as well. And you might be wondering, why is someone like me doing with a Souls-like game Sekiro in my collection? Well, you have Lance McDonald to thank for that, because he literally gave me a physical copy when he arrived from one of my streams. But yeah. So yeah, that's my... Sorry, guys. Yeah, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, F1. Oh yeah, F1 23. That's another game I could use the racing wheel if I got an Xbox. Sunset Overdrive, Borderlands. So, yeah. One thing I really like to do one day on Twitch and YouTube in the future, actually, is find a way to stream from my phone, and then we'll go through my collection individually. Keep a note on my phone, update Excel on my PC. It's very cumbersome. Yeah, it's very irritating. But yeah, that's just a way to, that's just a simpler way to do it, DualShock. But yeah, I saw it, I think it was on the YouTube, I think Metal Jesus Rocks was, I think that's how I discovered the app, where you said, yeah, you had an app that like showed, they gave you like a backlog of all the games in your collection. I thought, that's actually really good. Master Chief Collection, did you know, revive the original Halo 3 online lobbies? No, I didn't, lackluster. I played Halo 3 on Twitch. I did the campaign mode. I'm currently up to Halo 4, because I also got, as DLCs, I also got Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach, and 4 is, because I went through 1, 2, 3, ODST and Reach, and 4 is next. I wanted to take a bit of a break from the Halo franchise after that, so yeah, 4 is next, and then yeah, I guess 5 is next after that, because I've got Halo 5 in there as well. But yeah, as I was saying, one thing we'll do one day is, as you can see from the collection behind me, I'm sort of pointing at it, yeah, right behind me. What we'll do one day is just go through it and have a look at, and then just, I can talk about each individual game if you guys want, and then you guys can sort of put something in the chat, say, bit like my game collection video from 2022, but obviously a bit more improvised, and you guys can have a look and, ask a couple of questions about certain games in there. I'm planning on playing them on legendary difficulty. Good luck with that, lackluster. Last time I did that, I lost my mind on just the first level, because I'm usually very bad at hard games. This is why, apart from Sekiro, you won't see a Souls game in my collection. Again, the only reason I have Sekiro is just because Lance literally gave me his copy for free, because he had a spare copy. He just thought, because it's literally still in my shelf, sealed. And yeah, he just had a spare copy, so it's just like he just gave it to me. I'm like, all right. But I've seen people on Twitch play it, and I'm just like, no thanks. So yeah, if anyone wants to play Pro Skater, that looks really difficult to play. Pro Skater. Do you mean the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games? Are they that hard? I mean, Pro Skater 4 is a bit challenging. The first 3 aren't that hard. The challenge I get is trying to get every single goal in one run. That's the challenging part. It is completely optional. And I'm playing through my Phoenix. Oh, the Phoenix games. I think we will talk about that. Hey, DualShock, are you going to PAX this year? Tell me you're going to PAX this year. Because Because I know that Square Eye Jack has a lot of those Phoenix games. I think he will talk about it on. So we're doing a panel about the PlayStation 2 at PAX. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually brings up the Phoenix games. I've seen physical I've actually seen the covers. Jesus. And the COD games in Veteran. I did get pretty far in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare in Veteran difficulty, but never actually completed it on Veteran. But I did get pretty far with it. It really puts into perspective just how many hours I put into COD 4 back then. Phoenix, this and my beloved. And the game, yeah, and not to mention the games that I can't, man. Oh. You got to do what you got to do, DualShock. Good luck with that, though. Congratulations, of course, if you have a wedding to go to. That's obviously a lot more important. Pissed me off, but not as much as COD. Oh, COD 2. Call of Duty 2 I've never played before, though. Now, COD 4 was my introduction to the franchise. Next, if we win this race, we won the championship. I will try my best to at least try to 100% every event. Not every license, though. I really love to play through the Call of Duty games. I mean, the only thing that's really made me hold back on it, more specifically from the very first one all the way up to Modern Warfare 3, thereabouts. World at War had its moments, but it didn't take as long as those two. World at War is one of my favorites in the franchise, I reckon. I just think what I really loved about that game is how it shows the brutal side of World War II, just how violent it is. I don't know, it just does a really good job of capturing that. Like, you know, the Battle of Stalingrad, for example. Holy shit, that mission where you gotta sort of basically stay in stealth and yeah. It's almost like a horror war. It's almost like a war horror game in a way. But obviously with the game engine and all that sort of stuff from, you know, from COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, you know, I'd stop at Black Ops 2, Yeah, like I said, yeah, Modern Warfare 3, up to Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops, yeah, Modern Warfare 3 was the last game that I bought. And then my aforementioned best friends, the Crash Bash, he also had a PlayStation 3, that same one. He gave me his copy of COD, Black Ops 2. Because he had a spare copy, so yeah, from his brother. So he just gave it. He just ended up with 2 copies, so he just gave it to me. And yeah, I think that's the last Call of Duty game I've got in my collection. I think I've got Call of Duty Ghosts on the 360, just because it came bundled with a bunch of, you know, Xbox 360 games, or it came bundled with the 360 that when I bought that console in 2020. First mission one, the sniper. Yeah, that's the one. The battle. Yeah, that was in Stalingrad. DualShock. Epic mission. And you know, obviously you got Reznov voiced by Gary Oldman, Sir Gary Oldman. It certainly I hate to admit this, but it was actually, yeah, I don't know, I think that was the game that kind of sparked my interest in, you know, in World War II. Well, also that, and also we were learning about World War II in, you know, in high school as well, on top of that. So obviously, yeah, it was pretty fresh in my mind. Snipe with the pistol, that was hard. Did you actually do that, PugTech? Achievement for killing the general with the pistol? Is there an achievement for doing that? There you go. I didn't know that. Because, yeah, he's always... I distinctly remember him just constantly... He's hard to get with just a regular sniper. Come on, Ghost Rider. Crash Bandicoot kind of counts? Or are you talking about Aussie-developed games? Oh, shit. Jesus. Yeah, that's alright. Still got a giant lead. This is the, yeah, reverse Seattle circuit, so... Yeah, I've never played Ty the Tasmanian Tiger before. Ever. I'm pretty tired. I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't got much sleep this week. I was constantly yawning. You can get him so out of bounds, glitch me, push it, and then teleports to Aki. Ah, right. You mean Call of Duty? Yeah. But I do remember playing that on my school laptop actually, and just running it like real. One thing I'll never forget about Call of Duty World at War was what you know, my first campaign experience, because I had a bad school laptop running, you know, what was at the time the newest Call of Duty game on, you know. The one thing I'll never forget is playing it at like, what, 5 frames per second in slowdown, but I was enjoying the game so much that it never bothered me because I just really wanted to play it. God only knows how I managed to actually beat the game, looking back in hindsight. Double especially with that aforementioned sniping mission. And it was only until 2011, because it was in 2008, 2009 when I first played it. And then in 2011, I eventually got a copy for the PlayStation 3. It was like, oh, this is so much more like it. Stuff set in the Oz, ideally. Racing games set in the Oz, Ghost Rider. Does that also count as well? Like, you got the V8 Supercar Championship in the V8 Supercars games, and you also got the Bathurst Circuit in Gran Turismo and Forza, as well as Forza Horizon 3. One of the ways you can get... sorry, I already said that. I've already seen that message. We just won the championship, by the way, but we'll still do the final race. I thought the official timer said for a second Sekiro. I was like, hang on a minute, what? Am I seeing things? No. Seiko. Again, this game came out in 2001. It's amazing for something that came out in 01. Next. This music's from the Japanese version of Gran Turismo 1, by the way, so it's why it sounds a bit more upbeat than techno compared to, you know, the versions outside of Japan. Yeah, finally Tactastic. It's like, you know, not to mention this car is actually eligible for an event in which if you win the race you get 30,000 credits, and this car's already quick enough to do that. I know that Jack, Square Eye Jack, he did a video of, I think one of his most recent videos is basically video games that are set in Australia. He did recently do a video about that though. But yeah, it's mostly just racing games, and obviously you got the sports games. I'm just thinking, are there any sports games where they have a stadium or an arena set in Australia? I mean, obviously you got the AFL games, obvious, and the cricket games. I think there is a FIFA game, I won't forget this actually. There is a FIFA game in which it includes the Olympic Stadium in Sydney before the stadium was actually built. It was on an old PS1. I remember that circuit being, that stadium being available. That I might be mistaken. I might not. I'm not sure. Rugby league game. That's another. Well, games. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase. DualShock games set, like FIFA or NBA, like globally popular sports games, but actually have stadiums set in Australia. Now, I don't think there is. I think the Olympic Stadium in Sydney was actually in the FIFA game, if I'm not mistaken. It was FIFA 98. It was a very old FIFA game, but I do remember it. Or was it in FIFA 2000? I'm not sure. I did have FIFA 2000 in my collection. Hey, look who's here! Nando Boy! For 7 months. Thank you so much. How are you? How you?
GM from the UK. Hope everyone's having a great day. Rock on gesture emoji.
Indeed. What was I saying? Yes, I was about to say, it wouldn't be in the middle of the night where you are watching this live stream at least. Because it's currently it's nearly 10 p.m. where I am at the moment. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Nando boy. I actually did get your message recently, but you literally sent that message while I was at work, so I didn't really get a chance to, I haven't really had a chance to actually listen to the audio. But since you are here, maybe I could at the very least answer your question. Okay, here's the short answer at the moment. Sorry if this might sound a little bit offensive. You could say, because, yeah, Nando boy sent me a message about how I should improve, how to improve yourself socially despite the fact that you're autistic, because he thinks that I tend to do a very good job despite it. I think, to be truthful, Nando boy, I think the last few months I have been, yeah, I love that emote. Oh, that emote will never go away. To be truthful, the last few months I have sort of gone back into old habits again. I have been very socially slack the last few months. It's partly the reason why I'm going to this gaming meetup that's like in the city, like, you know, other content, like, you know, you guys see down the bottom of the stream watching on Twitch at the moment, ANZ Creators. I'm part of the Twitch team, ANZ Creators. They're doing an actual meetup in the city, yeah, in Melbourne on Sunday, so it'd just be a good chance to finally catch up and actually be social, because I have been very slack the last few months. I think really I guess the best way to do it is to I'm gonna put it this way. Sorry, I just roll up my sleeves. I might just roll up the sleeves. It's actually getting pretty warm. This is actually a really warm mug. I love it too. It's how I love it too. It's so me. It's so me, Tactastic. I like the other random emotes as well. That I made recently, like the hype one, the one where I updated the raw. I do an updated version of that. I actually do it in this game room. But anyway, I digress. I think the way to describe it is almost like autistic masking, but you're open to the fact that you are autistic. Basically, you're on the spectrum, but you're still doing things like, obviously, really sort of persevering through the eye contact, coming up with sort of conversation notes, not blatantly, you know, word to word on the script, but have the notes, so you always got something to talk. I'm just saying, this is what I've been trying to do the last couple of years. Also helped by, at least for the last couple of years, I think what's really helped me improve was, I think one thing being on Twitch specifically is that you actually get, you know, at least networking with other creators anyway, it's because they're live on Twitch. You're actually interacting with them in real time, so therefore you can sort of kind of have a conversation with them. And they obviously have their own Discord server, and you can interact with them, and then eventually you become friends with them on Discord. And because a lot of them are all pretty much, about at least 90% of all the streamers I follow on Twitch are all from Australia, so therefore being able to see them in person, it makes it a little bit easier to actually, it actually makes it a little bit easier to catch up with them in person, like, as I'm about to mention, this meetup in a couple of days. So, I really hope that answers the question. As you can tell, Nando boy, being autistic, explaining this on the fly is not really the, my biggest strength. Fahad, also welcome in. October 94, brother, how's life? Hey, October 94. Yeah, yes, we're both born October 94. Yes, we are. Not too bad. It has been very busy. Yeah, it has been a very busy stretch, I would say. I've been working full-time. Yeah, well, my full-time job, I've been working 5 days a week, literally every single week since early June. So it has been a bit of a grind trying to get through it and trying to work on, finish the next review. I'm actually thinking about, okay, guys, this is important. I'm actually seriously, hang on, before I do, I might just manually save state. And has that problem since trying to get through uni. She really likes seeing me. It helps her with getting out. One-on-one conversations is another thing as well. Group conversations I can't really do. It's better to, it's at least with one-on-one conversations, you've got their attention. It's just you and them. It just makes it, just feels like there's a bit less pressure. If that makes sense. It's always good to have that close friend. It's also good to have that close friend. Ooh, Mazda RX-7 in gold. Ooh, fancy. That's actually not a bad car. My 2-week annual leave. That's the thing I've had. My annual leave doesn't start until my birthday. Yeah, group combos suck, I know from experience. Yeah, because this group meetup that I'm going to, yeah, I do try to go for the one European Championship. I think this car is eligible as well. We might be getting through these. That's the thing. We've been doing a different championship. We've been doing a different race every single. This is the first time we have. This is the first time this live stream where we haven't actually done the same event more than once. Hey T-Bird, also welcome in. What's your favorite day? What is your day job? I don't want to talk about it, to be honest. The only thing I will say is, the only thing I will give away is that it's permanent full-time work. Hence why these reviews take such a long time to make. And also hence why I only stream on the weekends because, yeah, there's only so much time I have for it. And how are you, T-Bird? How's your week been? But yeah, hope, Nando boy, yeah, that message that you sent, I hope that answers your question. As I was saying, yeah, the 1 month leave doesn't start until, yeah, in October, in which it goes for fortunately, it goes for literally an entire month. It's an entire month off. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that's right. It's literally all going to be used up. The first week, it's going to be just PAX, marathon, birthday, and then 1 week after that, going to the Gold Coast for a couple of weeks, Queensland, and then coming back and having my friends over. So also song displays a killer too. Is this the song that's playing in the background, DualShock? Yeah. The reason why I'm playing that song specifically, DualShock, is because it's actually exclusive to Gran Turismo, so technically I cannot get in trouble for... I can't get a copy... I actually don't get a copyright claim for playing this song in the background, which is very handy. Plan for... Landed pocket, actually... This is what it's called. Get ready for the weekend. Yeah, man. Yeah, so, yeah, because at the moment, DualShock, I'm live on YouTube on the basically, I'm streaming this on my second YouTube channel, which is a way to sort of archive these live streams once, because the problem with Twitch VODs is they're only live for about 2 weeks and then they get taken down, whereas if you do it on YouTube, they actually stay permanently, so therefore, I can't take more than that 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks is... probably the longest I can ever go on a holiday, even if I went overseas. But yeah, it's a road trip with my parents. They got a caravan, and obviously I've got a tent, and then obviously we stay at the Gold Coast for about a week. We watched the supercars. DualShock Nation. Hang on, here's the command. There's your link. That's the link. So with that channel, you will be able to watch. You'll be able to watch this very live stream, and you can probably send a message in there, and you'll probably see me. You'll probably I'd be able to respond to it. Can't take 2 more. So hang on. Where did it take place? Where did what take place? Can't take. That's a smart strategy. Yeah, it is a very. If you're talking about keeping So yeah, guys, if you want to watch. Where did it take place? Surface Paradise, T-Bird. In the middle of Surface Paradise. Did that in 2022, and I'm doing it again this year. What's really funny is my parents, because I actually wanted to go, because when I went in, when I went in 2022, loved it, by the way, guys. I wanted to go, I didn't want to go by myself, and I just asked my parents, do you want to go? We can just do a road trip out of it. I just kind of encouraged them to do it. And they were just like, yeah, okay. I guess because they love to travel. They like to take their caravan and literally just travel all over the country. Like literally, they've traveled to Northern Territory. They've traveled to to Western Australia with a caravan. They've been all the way to. Hang on, guys. Let me look this up on a map. Actually, no. I can just watch it. Sorry, I can just look at it from my phone. I won't show you on the map, but I'll just like say it, you know, once I find it on the map. They've been all the way to, okay, this is from people from Australia. You can search this up if you want. They've been all the way to Broome, which is like, you know, as far northwest of Australia as you can get. Well, I've spent DualShock Nation here. Steamed hams and, yes, steamed hams and knuckles. I see you there. As you can see, yeah, your message appears in the YouTube, you know, in the chat as well, and it comes up as a YouTube. Yeah, to sort of differentiate between Twitch and the. That's why the Twitch and YouTube icons are there to say so. So you got, so you guys can chat from either YouTube or Twitch, and it'll pop up on the live stream itself. So, yeah, I just got it set up that way only about a month or two ago, just over a month ago. So therefore, I've got a way to archive these streams for. Takes place in October. Yes, it does, T-Bird. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so they were just like, okay, it's good for the road trip because yeah, we went to Sydney first. Okay, here's the story, guys. Streamception. How is the delay? Steamed hams. How is the delay? I visited. Okay, you visited Phuket from the closest we can get to crossplay live streams. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I only do on multiple platforms. Again, just as a way to archive this live stream, you know, beyond just 2 weeks on Twitch, and as a way to set up so that I could actually stream on my main YouTube channel every once in a while. So let's say if I stream Grand Theft Auto 6 when that comes out next year, I'll stream it. If I ever do stream GTA 6, I will probably do it on my main YouTube channel the day it comes out. I think everyone on my main YouTube channel will be they would actually forgive me for doing that. 10-second difference between YouTube and Twitch. So it's, yeah, okay, so it is a bit of a difference, but not a crazy difference. For some reason, it's usually, because I remember the first time I streamed on YouTube, it was like a 20-30 second difference. It has gotten a little bit better, though. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, this road trip that we did in 2022, the first place we went to was Sydney because we went to the cricket to watch the 2020 World Cup. It was Australia versus New Zealand at the SCG. It was only the second time I've been there. And also to catch up with Peter, who you guys might know on YouTube as Mini-Me. So I got to meet him in person for the first time ever because he lives in Sydney. And then, yeah, we just traveled further all the way to... We went past certain spots that were based off the map in Forza Horizon 3, like Byron Bay, the Sea Cliff Ridge, and a couple of other spots, and then eventually Surface Paradise, because, you know, Surface Paradise is in Horizon 3. Didn't know we had cricket fans in here. Well, like Luster, I am Australian, so it only makes sense. Definitely taking a week off to play GTA 6 when it releases. I probably might not take a week off to play it, but I will definitely play. I mean, what I'll do most likely is just whatever games I'm working on or reviewing or playing, I'm just going to immediately put it on hold and then stream GTA 6 and then review it. I'm putting everything on hold just to be able to play it. Nothing else. Once GTA 6 comes out, nothing else matters. I'm going to play it, stream it, and then review it. That's the plan for me. No, I didn't see... Here's the thing, DualShock. Regrettably, no, I did not. I did not even visit Parkway Drive. However, in a couple of months, when I do go to the Gold Coast, I will make sure to do that. I will make sure I do that. I will make sure that I will actually do it this time. Because I will be going past Byron Bay again in 2025. I regret it. I regret not doing it before. I wasn't a huge Parkway Drive fan before. It was only until I saw them at Knotfest in 2023 that I suddenly think, holy shit, I love this band. And then I saw them again the next year. I saw them in the 20th anniversary arena tour. That was fucking epic as well. And now I'll be seeing them again at Park Waves next year, because I'm seeing them again in February. So yeah, plenty of concerts to go to for the next few months. Went to one a couple of weeks ago. Saw Carnival. I'm seeing Cog in December, and then yeah, Parkway Drive in February. So Pakistani cricket team from an outsider's perspective. I don't think... Hang on a second. No music's playing. Yeah, why did the music stop? Sorry guys, I'm just getting all these messages. Just want to make sure that I don't miss out on it. Okay, anyway, sorry guys. As I was saying, yeah, when it comes to Pakistani cricket, I really don't know. I don't think I watch enough cricket to... Yeah, I don't think I watch enough cricket to really get your opinion on that. Honestly, I think there are some people that... There are actually a fair few people from Australia that actually don't like the Australian national team. My father doesn't like them for some stupid reason, but whatever. Each their own. I imagine GTA 6 release will cause a reduction in people going to work like you definitely... I might have to do this. I might have to do the same thing, Ghost Rider. Like I said, I will put everything on hold. Whatever game I'm reviewing, no matter how close I am to finishing the review, it's going on hold. GTA 6 is the only thing that matters. I might already have to probably start doing a bit of... I have to actually start doing some research. I might actually use that opportunity to do some research when I'm on holidays, actually. Like, just on my phone, looking at different articles specifically, and then just writing the script from my phone. Just to sort of make a head start, so when the time comes to review GTA 6, I've got nothing else to... Got nothing... Yeah, I've already made a decent head start. Aiming for Dream Theater to finally come back to Australia. Dream... The only band I really want to see come to Australia is Rammstein. That's the only band, and it's never going to happen because Europe is literally all they know these days, which is understandable because they got this giant stadium set, so they got nothing else to, and obviously it's cheaper to obviously just to carry it all over Europe as opposed to sailing it all the way to America and all the way to Australia, and obviously they probably wouldn't be able to fill the stadiums as well as Europe, so... yeah, the only chance I've got of seeing them is I'll have to actually go to Europe. And even then, I'm actually now, how far? Just in the amateur events now, T-Bird, but fortunately, I'm at the point where I don't have to repeat the same event more than once. Every single race that I've done for this live stream has been a different one. I mean, I'm kind of repeating the same thing. I'm almost... So tickets are quite expensive, so I don't know if you ever get to see them anytime soon. The thing is, Lackluster, it's one of those, obviously Lackluster, I'm from Australia, and obviously the last time they came here was in 2011 for the Big Day Out tour. My brother, he got to see them, which I'm still jealous of to this day. Then again, I wouldn't have been old enough to see them because I was still in high school, so, and they've only played at festivals. Never played an arena show, which is a shame. And then given the kind of shit that they do, I wouldn't have been able to be legally allowed to watch one of these shows regardless. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's once in a lifetime, you might as well just go for the ticket even if it is expensive. I think the only thing that worries me is the plane ticket to fly to Europe. So being the elder brother, yeah. The problem is, I can't really afford to spend money on an overseas trip because I've got a lot of money to spend on this very house. So I put pretty much all of my money into the house, which, money well spent, of course. I have no regrets doing it. Tickets to Europe, especially, yeah, because being from Australia, they're a lot more expensive. Not to mention, I've been having a discussion with my mother. She really wants to go to Japan. She said that if we ever go to Japan, do you want to join us? Well, the short answer is, do I want to? Yes. Yes, definitely. It's just a question of whether or not I'll be able to afford it. Now, plane tickets to Japan aren't as expensive because, I mean, we're closer to Japan than Europe, of course. You have massive bands come here unless they come in straight from Asia or going straight to Asia after. Yeah, exactly. I was hoping at the bare minimum, DualShock, that their lead singer, Till Lindemann, who's got his own solo band, it's not Rammstein, but still, I actually do like a lot of his solo stuff. I was hoping that he, at the very least, he could come to Australia, because he's actually playing in Thailand in December, so I just thought, come on, make a little detour to Australia at least, come on. But looking at his schedule, I don't think he will, which is such a shame. Because I remember when he announced that he was actually going to Thailand, there were a lot of comments saying, that's close to Australia, come on, do it. But 9, I don't think he will. Think about it, you could get Japanese exclusive games like Racing C1. Yeah, probably lackluster if they're not too expensive. I'm not really in it for just to go game hunting. I mean, I will. That's the thing with Japan. There's so much to do. I was talking about Europe and my idea of what I would do if I actually did do a holiday in Europe. But thinking about Japan, Tikanji, speaking of the devil, look who's here, guys. We better give him a shout out, actually. Kenji, how are you? Playing Gran Turismo 5. You're playing a Gran Turismo game, of course. First Moto2 Grand Prix. Yes, that is exclusive to Japan. And obviously the second one is just branded as the first one in North America. I think it was branded as Moto2 Grand Prix 2 in Australia, but we never got the first one. Good. Thanks for the shout. My pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, not too bad. Just pretty flat out at the moment. Trying to, work. That's what happens when you work a full-time job, marathon training, and live streaming 3 times a week, and you're trying to make a review on YouTube that's nearly 30 minutes long. So, yeah, life is flat out. No pun intended. Wait. So then, what was Moto2 Grand Prix called outside Japan? Lackluster. It was called. Yeah. It was called. It was just called 2. Yeah, 2 was called 1 in North America, and 2 was just 2 in PAL region, despite not getting a number 1. Holy Kenji, I'm a huge fan. There you go. Yes, Jules Shock. The very same. It's a bit like when some people come into when I say hello in some people's live streams, they're like, wait, the same ColourShed this? And I'm like, yep, the very same. The only problem with Japanese exclusives is being able to understand them. Not to mention region locking as well. I'm just wondering, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just thinking, the PlayStation 1 emulator that I use, because I do have a PlayStation 1 emulator, would that work with Japanese PS1 games? It should. I mean, it'd be ridiculous if it didn't, but... Alright, what's the price car for the Turbo? Yeah, I'm fine. Thankfully, Kenji, thankfully, we're at a point in the career mode, in the GT mode at the moment, where we're not slogging out doing the same event more than once. So we're actually making a bit of half decent progress, as you can see from the number of credits we got. Finally, yeah, emulators should be region free. I hope so. Because I know that with my PlayStation 2 emulator that I'm using right now, coincidentally, I actually dumped the BIOS file from a real PlayStation 2. It was a PAL region one, and I was just wondering if NTSC games would work on it or not. It's hard to tell. I do know some people have patches made to add English subtitles in Japanese games, which, yeah, that could be handy. Regarding BIOS, I just realized I haven't saw you in it. Probably. Okay, so my car's four-wheel drive. Yeah, the Skyline's, four-wheel drive. Again, thank God. I'm just glad that I'm doing different events. I'm not doing the same one more than once. I'm actually getting somewhere. This should be a little bit more challenging because I've currently got soft tires at the moment. Oh, all-wheel drive forward. Power BIOS and the PC SX2 and can run NTSC fine. Okay, so let's say, the spec, because when I do play Gran Turismo 4 on Twitch, I would like to actually do the spec 2 mod. That's really the only way to play it. Look at guys, look at the bottom left of the screen. Tires are already warmed up. I'm using soft tires, so. Question, the Tokyo Geneva concept save file can be used in which GT game? 3 and 4 lackluster, I think. So I think with 3 you can use it to... Oh geez, the tires are... Look at this, guys. The tires are already... I might have to get medium tires. Do you reckon the tires can like... Guys, oh god, the tires are already going yellow. They're going to be red by the time I go around the second corner. This is ridiculous. But I've got a big lead at the moment, so maybe that might be enough. It's only 5 laps, guys, so you never know. Would you say that's too soft, guys, the tires? Would I have to get medium tires? The tires are already worn. Soaking through GT3, 10 million creds, 2005 Grand Prix. But yeah, exactly, Alien. Australian, Aussie Alien. You've hit the nail on the head. This is only the 3rd lap on Super Speedway, and already the tires have already gone red. I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive this, guys. 2.5 laps to go. I think I'm going to have to get medium tires now, guys. I wonder if the turbo has anything. Guys, they're catching they're catching up. We've got the turbo to try and make up for it. Yeah, I'm really... It's so... I have to admit, that's probably the fastest I've ever seen tires wear in a Gran Turismo game. I'm not sliding or anything, so probably... Yeah, I am understeering a little bit, but I'm still holding the lead. The tires are just... Oh, God, it's actually... I do sort of notice that... I just noticed that the car is sort of veering to the right a little bit as well. Ross Chastain. The fact that this circuit didn't exist when GT4 came out. Yeah. I'm holding on for deal. Driving this now, it feels like one tire... It feels like the left tires are fine, but the right ones are just... They have no tires whatsoever. Like, I'm sort of just like... on a curve. That's what it feels like. Thought the tires would pop if they turn red, so I always avoided the tire race. Well, they're holding on for now. I kind of thought the same thing as well. They would just pop. Oh, God, the understeer is out of control. Yeah, I'm going to have to get, much harder tires, guys. We'll see if we can at least win this race. 1 lap to go. Come on. It's really understeering now, guys. Yeah, it's veering to the right a little bit when you... Come on, turbo! Don't let me down! Keep going! And we made it! So yeah, more of the story. Don't use these tires in races where tire wear is actually a thing. It did the job at least, so job done. Welcome in, Meister. Yeah, not a bad way to arrive at a live stream. It's literally, it's almost like it felt like the tarmac was made of lava at that point. Yeah, medium. Yeah, I'll get medium tires. It did the job though. I won the race. I'll probably use that prize money to get those medium tires. Even though I've already, as you can see, I've got all the money in the world to... I've already got all the money in the world to, like, up the heat back around. I know! That's what makes this game... I know that's what makes this game age so well. The replays look so nice. Okay, medium... Oh, 20! Jesus! As you can see, yeah, I got the... Guys, imagine this tire in that race. Dear God... God help us all! Nah, medium would be perfect. I mean, any other upgrades we can make it to the... Okay, so we've already purchased all the engine and exhaust. We don't... Yeah, no. We don't need more power. Drivetrain, yeah, why not? Don't think it's entirely necessary. I feel like our car's quick enough for... Yeah, racing flywheel. I noticed that on all the tires. Transmission. Shits and giggles. Let's give this to... Nah, DualShock, it's a lot of money. It's nearly 50,000 credits for just those pair of tires. I mean, what I could do is, like, manually save it, fit those tires in, then reload. I could probably do that, actually. Super seem pretty redundant. Has anyone done qualifying in these games? Yeah, I'd never really thought of that. The qualifying tires. Anyway, let's get back into it. See what the clutch is like. So yeah, we've already given it a giant turbo, racing tires, and all that sort of thing. Okay, 4-wheel drive challenge. They're insane in arcade mode. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Kenji. The tire, yeah, there was no tire wear in any of the races up to this point. I think this is like the first. This is like the first race I've actually competed in that has tire wear. I think we got the mediums on at the moment. The tires wear out before I even start qualifying. So there you go. Defeats the purpose then. Oh wow, this is. Yeah, the dry trader. This is. Jeez, it massively improves the acceleration. That's for sure. Oh, the tires are already starting to wear. But I suppose with Super Speedway we can last 5. What's really interesting is that, yeah, the Super Speedway was 5 laps and had tire wear. But some of the races that the championships we competed in, which had 6 laps for the Super Speedway, but didn't have tire wear. I play Gran Turismo 4 a lot more to get the idea of what tire wear is like. And obviously in Gran Turismo 1 and 2, you can just put soft tires on. They'll be just as hard tires, but grippier. Which almost makes you wonder why even bother getting hard tires to begin with. Wait, I swear this track was in Gran Turismo 1. If you're talking about Apricot Hill Raceway lackluster, it's in Gran Turismo 2. I'm not sure I have tire wear for some reason. I know, it's like... Notice too, the AI rubber banding is so blatant. That's another thing that annoys me about the amateur races, how blatant the AI rubber banding is. You can see it on the map on the top left of how quickly, look at this, like, look guys, look how quickly it just like, and they just the way they get closer to you, it's ridiculous. It's probably at its most obvious when you're driving on Tokyo R246. Terribly mistaken. We're long overdue for another Aussie World Championship. DualShock. I've said this, I say this so many times. I just want to see an Australian win the World Championship at least once in my lifetime. And I really thought Mark Webber had it in 2010. I was paying close attention to that season back then. Because, you know, being in Australia, the F1 was on free TV. It was a beautiful time. They catch up a lot after they pit. Yeah, I know. They didn't pit in the last race, though. And there are some that pit and there are some that pit on the last lap and you don't have to. No, lackluster. I think I've already made a demonstration of that with the, I think I've already demonstrated that perfectly in the reviews of, I'm just over-revving just on that long string. Yeah, lackluster. That's why Vettel was so hated in Australia because of his rivalry with Webber. He was really hated in Australia. Even then, like, I hated Sebastian Vettel in the early to mid 2010s. I hate that he kept on winning the World Championship, and then you had Webber, his teammate, who had almost just as good of a car and couldn't get over the hump. It was so annoying. Yes, he did, Ghost Rider. He definitely did. In so many different forms of motorsport as well. Yeah, but he was hated in Australia. I will never forget this. In 2014, in the Australian Grand Prix, in the first lap of the Australian Grand Prix in 2014, when Vettel was sort of in the middle of the table, sort of like 12th, 13th, and Danny Ricciardo was second. This was his first race with Red Bull. I remember Vettel going past at like 12 or 13. Everybody in the crowd at Albert Park was cheering like he was leading the race or something, because, yeah, that's how hated he was back then. It was just like we were cheering at the fact that he was so far behind. Do you mean in 2012, lackluster? No, it put a big smile on my face when Ricciardo kept outpacing Vettel in 2014. It actually, I was so happy about that. Then I thought Ricciardo could have been the one to win the the first Aussie to win the world championship since, in so many decades. 2012. Yeah, it was 2012. That was the close one. Man, we were spoiled in the late 2000s, early 2010s when it comes to Formula One. In terms of getting close championships. 2007 and 2008, they were only by 1 point. It took the second last race and for Button to sort of hold on for dear life with the Brawn. And then in 2010, like 5 different drivers could have potentially won the world championship. It came down to 4 drivers in the last race. So one of any of the 4, like I think it was between Webber, Vettel, Alonso, and Hamilton. Like all the way to the end of 2010, new F1 regulations look promising. I mean, the thing is, wonder where the slump occurred for the Honey Badger. I don't know. Probably when he had Verstappen as a teammate, probably when he left Red Bull, and he probably shouldn't have. I mean, do you reckon Ricciardo would have a slightly more successful career if he stayed with Red Bull? And obviously he had to be Verstappen's teammate, but he was still doing very well against Verstappen despite, being his, obviously Verstappen is objectively the better driver though, so it's like, did get the short end in Singapore. More specific. Yes, the controversy of whether or not he was actually the real champion because of the crash gate, but there were so many occasions when Ferrari bottled it in the pits, like that race. Stay in the red, who knows? I'm getting a horrible feeling that Norris and Piastri are going to go second prize. They will, no doubt. Dual shock. I knew once they both started winning races, I thought one day it's going to be inevitable. They'll start disliking each other by next season, I reckon. When one wins the championship, one's going to get jealous of the other. It'll be interesting. Like I said, as long as Piastri wins at least one in his career, I would be at peace with that. I just want to see an Aussie win the world championship. And obviously, the way things are going as of now, he's leading the championship, so that's... I mean, give credit. I mean, obviously, yes, it'd be a very dull season. Come on, car. You're almost at the finish line. It has been very dull if you're not a McLaren fan, but at least the 2 drivers are actually competing for the championship, so at least we still have a close fight for the Drivers' Championship. I really don't know. Piastri's... The one thing about Piastri, he is the kind of guy who's usually very good under pressure, and that is a huge difference maker. He's so cool and calm. Like, nothing phases him, so... Almost a slightly more filtered version of Kimi Räikkönen, just so calm and collected. We only just won that race, but we won it. Be interesting to see the regulations affect McLaren next season, and they're just putting all their eggs in one basket for the last 2 seasons. Yeah, but there is that feeling of inevitability between these two. Ooh, sorry guys, okay. Guys, I know who I'm going to raid after this live stream. We're going to keep going, of course. This is definitely not the end of it, but I know who I'm raiding. I think if Norris wins the title, it'll be the only one he gets. I don't think he has more than one in him. Yeah, Piastri does seem like the kind of guy who's just... I mean, it helps that he's had the best car right from almost from the beginning of his career, of course. But yeah, Edna. I know who you really mean, Lackluster. I don't know if medium tires is going to be good enough for this race, guys. Yeah, Piastri is the kind of guy who's just built to just, get the job done consistently. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying this just because I want Piastri to win over Norris. At the end of the day, if if I wanted anyone else to win the championship over Piastri, it would be Norris, because I am a McLaren fan. But if I had to choose between the two drivers, I'm just going to pick Piastri on the basis of national pride. I've always gone, for me, when it comes to Formula 1, I always just go for the Aussie. Whoever wins the championship, as long as he's Australian, I will be at peace with that. And then if there is no Aussie on the grid, then I would just pick a different favorite driver. But if it's like Mark Webber, for example, Kamikaze, haven't seen it in years. Nostalgic 5. Well, Kamikaze. It's a very likable game, and playing it on this emulator, it's barely aged a day. It's a beautiful game, isn't it, Kamikaze? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. It's a really good. What I like to see is a GT race between Edna and Smitty. That. Yeah. Maybe one day, or at least a co-op stream one day. Yeah. I'll have to get in contact with Edna, because I have. You're talking about Eden. You mean Eden specifically, Ghost Rider, or Edna? I don't think so. Separate compounds were brought in for GT. As long as I win, I mean, I am getting a huge lead because of the A. I mean, I'm not pulling away because of the AI rubber banding. But yeah, I have a way to DM Dustin Eden, so maybe I can get in contact with him, and then we'll see which racing game we can play together. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm friends with him on Discord, so I got a way to. Yeah. Maybe we can discuss, which game we can play.
I should go.
Oh, you got to go, Tactastic. It'd be very early early where you are at the moment. Anyway, I'm impressed that you've managed to hold on for this long. I really appreciate it. I hope, yeah. I'll see you next live stream, which should be tomorrow morning where I am. It should be should be Friday night for you. It should be a better time of day for you. Thanks for joining in. Tire's already yellow after the second lap. I'm having my doubts, guys. Agreed, Dual Shock. And he just went live on Twitch, so yeah, I'll probably. And he has appeared on this live. He's appeared on a ColourShed live stream before, so yeah, you got to do what you got to do, Tactastic. I mean, I have to work like I said before, I've been working 5 days a week full time for 2.5 months, so. We haven't had a public holiday since King's birthday in June 10th or something. Since then, I've been working 5 days a week, and I've got to do another month of it as well. Fortunately, after that month is done, I will have an entire month off. We'll keep pushing, though. We'll just see. I mean, the tires probably might go red. I mean, who knows? Maybe the opponents might pit in. It might be possible. We'll keep trying. We'll see. We'll just see. If it goes completely red, I mean, I'll tell you what. If they overtake me, then I'll get another set of tires. I wish I could sell the tires and just like, can we trade it in for hard ones instead? I know, there are so many. That's the thing. Okay, for those, here in Australia, pretty much all of our public holidays are in the first half of the year. So there's like a 3-month or 4. Okay, in Victoria, we do have a public holiday in September called the day before the AFL Grand Final. We do get Friday off for that, so it's a 3-day weekend, which is like 1 week before I start my one monthly. So it's like a 3-day weekend, and then I get a month off. So that's really good. But yeah, before I get through that, I have to work I have to work 5 days a week for 3.5 months. And I'm about 2.5 months into it, so I'm getting there slowly but surely. But yeah, if you're wondering why these reviews take a long time to make, well, that's partly the reason why. And then after that, we got the Melbourne Cup, which is also in the middle of November. That's actually part of the reason why I'm able to get an entire month off, because after my 4 weeks are up, I'm actually giving myself an extra day off, and then I got the Tuesday off for Melbourne Cup, and that leads up to literally an entire month. And then after that, and then we don't get any public holidays until Christmas. We get Christmas and Boxing Day off, and then New Year's. Yes, we do, Dual Shock. Yes, we do, in Victoria. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think... I mean, 2 laps, guys. Can we do it? We still got the lead, so anything's possible. Grand Valley Speedway is a large circuit. So we do get plenty of... Yeah, we do get plenty of public holidays. It's just that, yeah, a lot of it is in the first half of the year. Like, I wish the Labor Day was on in August instead of March, for example. I am starting to slide out a little bit, actually. If he overtakes, I'll get hard tires on and we'll just put it on the car. But yeah, well, fantastic. I've been holding on to my my annual leave just for, you know, October because, yeah, like I've mentioned before, I've got so much planned for it. You know, the Game Expo packs, as you just saw, I've got a content creator pass for that. I'm doing a panel. And literally on that same weekend, I'm running the Melbourne Marathon. And then a couple of days after the marathon, it'll be my birthday. And then half a week after that, that's when I'm going to the Gold Coast for 2 weeks and then coming back home. So yeah, I've got a lot to do. So yeah, I need that month off. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not feeling very confident, guys. Still got the lead. I think the giant turbo in this Skyline GTR is the one thing that's basically, you know, allowing me to have a huge lead. I must confess, guys, in the meantime, I reckon I probably might do 2 live streams a week instead. At least until I get back from holidays, because, yeah, my plan is because I've got so much going on. You know, working full time, 5 days a week, non-stop, like just for 3.5 months. It's just been ridiculous. But also, I'm not confident, guys. We'll keep going. I mean, we got 1 lap to go. You never know. I mean, I mean, the best lap is 156. That last lap was 159, so you never know. But yeah, it's just that all the good events happen in October, and it's also sort of late. It's sort of between spring and summer, so the weather, temperature-wise, is also perfect in October. So not too hot, but not too cold. It's like, it's very warm, but not ridiculously summer hot that you got to stay inside. No, don't. Go around the U-turn. Go around the hairpin. I'm really trying my best not to... Come on! Go around the corner! Like I said, guys, the turbo that's in this thing is probably the only thing that's preventing me from being overtaken at this point because of the AI rubber banding. I've got this giant turbo that's giving me the acceleration to persevere. Note to self, next time you do a 5-lap race, get hard tires. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I reckon I probably will be streaming 2 days a week from this point out because I want to try and get the Motorsport 6 reviewer and another review after that until, yeah, I want to get, come on, just almost there, just a couple of corners to go. It's actually going around the corner, as long as I don't slide out. I mean, I am driving a Skyline GTR, so it's not as hard, and with racing tires, so come on, he's just got to get around this corner, and we're home. Alright, we're home, guys. The tires literally aren't, it just feels like I'm driving on, just rims only, just no tire wear whatsoever. Wow, we did it. I think the tires are made of granite or stone or something. I think I earned more than 5,000 on that. Yeah, but nah, being in a Skyline GTR helps, of course. I love that emote as well, where it changes different. By the way, I know I've already mentioned this before, but that emote is not me changing the colors gradually. What I actually do is change the colors of the lighting in the background. Like, I can actually demonstrate for you now, guys, if you want. of that emote. Sorry, I really want to demonstrate for you guys. I want to demonstrate this very emote in real time. Let me get the color emote. Let me get the app to access. Okay, check out the webcam, guys. So yeah, that's what I did to make that effect for you guys. I just did this with the phone back and forth. And yeah, it looks really cool. And I just did it in front of my camera. I recorded it on camera and then just Ooh. We got a rave going on in this game room, guys. Okay, I'll stop messing around. The only problem is now it looks a bit pale. The only problem now is that I do look a bit pale on the webcam now, just for demonstrating that. As you can see, I'm trying to... We're getting A-Rab money. GTA The Ballad of Gay Tony, I will play that after 4. It's a lot less pronounced on the web. Yeah, but lackluster. Yeah, it still works though. You get what I was trying to do. So we got another... Ooh, an Evo 7? Yes, it's an Evo 7. Also in gold for some reason. Stars and Stripes. Do you reckon my Mustang? Okay, how much are the rally cars in this game? I might think about actually buying a rally car for the rally events. Like, for example, a Ford Focus rally car. Ooh, I can nearly afford a rally car. Man, I wish I could get the Escort. Okay, the Ford Focus rally car, I can nearly afford that. What about other rally cars in this game? Ooh, that's it. Yeah, that is a bit of a hot take. I'm not gonna have a go at you at the comment section for it. Oh no, Nissan didn't get a rally car. Speaking of Evo, how much does an Evo cost? Is it about all rally cars 350,000? Okay, that. I don't know. This Evo looks pretty nice. Don't know. Oh yes, the Pikes Peak rally car, of course, is worth 1 million credits. Yeah, I know the one. What about the Corolla rally car? Oh shit, I can actually afford the Corolla rally car. Might have to consider that, guys. There's also the Peugeot 206. PogTech, I was about to say PogTech. You probably want me to get that instead. That's worth 350. I know this car specifically, all thanks to V-Rally 2 on the PlayStation 1, which is on the front cover. This car is on the front cover. That was basically my introduction to Peugeot. The Cheetah's Celica. Yeah, the Celica rally car. We all know the one. The E110 Corolla. Yeah, Corollas are pretty good. Best looking Evo 9. 9 is basically just an 8. Evo 6 looks really nice. 10, debatable. Nah, I kind of like it though. I'm a Ford guy. That's why I want the Focus rally car. Obviously, you got the Tick Ford. Should we save up for this as well? We need to save up for this too, because we need that as our go-to race car, because we're streaming in Australia at the moment, so it only makes sense. Anyway, I was just curious, guys. I was just having a look. What other events can we do? What other beginner events do we have to clear out? MR. Okay, MR only. Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is the Pagani Zonda. Turbo 80s. Oh, that's right. I got one. Yeah, the Seattle. Yeah, the Toyota struggles it out. Yeah, no, not yet. I mean, I guess Forza make up for it, Meister. Oh, I think I've got an Evo that's actually... I just realized. I got cars I've been earning cars from championships and single races. I've actually got a pretty decent sized garage now, guys. Got an Evo 7, I've got a Evo 6. Actually, how much power? Ooh, guys, I think we got something that's that might actually be eligible for the Evo meeting, guys. You mean right now, Lackluster? That's I wouldn't know, to be honest. Hog Tech would probably know the answer better than me. Is my car eligible? What? That's bullshit. Guys, how is that Lancer Evo not... Come on, it's an Evo. I mean, is it... Guys, can you not believe... I don't believe it. This car is not... FTO. Is this front wheel drive? Okay, the front wheel drive championship, this car could be handy. I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to clear as many events as I can because obviously this car would be pretty good for the FF challenge actually, the one that I've got now. We're going to 50k for the T series. Do you mean the VT Commodore specifically? Feels weird being in. No, it feels weird not being in the skyline, though. Oh no, one of them. Oh shit, one of them is the Cup. Is the Lucro Cup car. That's actually pretty quick for a front-wheel drive car. Oh no, I might be able to. The problem is the Cup car is actually pretty quick because it's a race car for crying out loud. It's a front-wheel drive champ. Well, I can keep up somewhat. I might have to play. I might have to do the trick of basically outbraking him and then using him as a sort of. Nah, it's not really. It's not really working, guys. He's just pulling away. I might have to get that Cup car because I know, or at least the Beetle Cup car because I think I need it for the for the Beetle Cup car championship. Nah, I can't do it, guys. What I need to do, hang on. What I need to do is reload and see if that Cup car is not. What if I re-entered it and that's not the. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I just want to be sure. Nah, forget it. I think we've got a Ford Fairmont. I think my brother has a Ford Fairmont in his garage, an old early 90s one. It used to belong to my grandfather. I'm just curious to know if he still has that in his garage. I'm thinking about getting a Beetle Cup car because we need it for this championship and we can use it for the FF. I wonder how much those cost. Assuming they don't cost money. No, sorry, assuming that it's not locked. Yeah, it's locked. I thought so. Maybe that's the car you win when you do the FF. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to go all the way into the main menu. Which one exactly? Which type of model? The AU one, the one on the Love this song, by the way. I don't know. I think it kind of works on the car. I think it's a pretty decent looking car. I will have to save up for that at some point. I don't know. I think the headlights look okay. The rest of the body looks it looks just right in my opinion. on an XR8 specifically. Now I got the FTO at the moment, but I'm just thinking unless we can do the European Championship with the Skyline GTR, we can do that. Oh shoot, we're 2.5 hours in already. I mean, we can upgrade this car and do the lightweight cup. Just give it a giant turbo, that'll do it. Get the Suzuki Alto and then give it... Guys, should we do it? I think we could walk the lightweight cup if we did this, guys. What do you guys reckon? Yeah, like a little rocket. Can't see an AU Falcon not thinking. Alright. We're kind of buying our way into it, but, you know, we can afford it. Ow, my head. Yeah, let's do it. Sounds like a bit of a bargain if you ask me. Anyway, let's use it. It's only for the lightweight cup. And I know one event with the Skyline, it's a 3-lap race in which the prize money is 30,000 credits. So, alright, let's do the lightweight cup. Oops. It would hurt my soul if I discovered it wasn't eligible just because it might have been too powerful or something. Because I know with the lightweight cup, I think in Gran Turismo 4, there's like a limit in the number of... look at the dial. It's just like... It's like a stabbed rat. I am the gold medal. I am the one who should be on top of the podium. Yeah, it's just walking the competition, guys. Oh, hang on. Song suckers. And it actually drives okay too. It's actually fun. It's actually kind of fun to drive. It feels like I'm driving a car that belongs in the Sunday Cup. Really, that's the best way to describe it. It's a beauty. Oh yeah. Just works the way it should. Oh, they're keeping up, but I don't know if AI rubber banding has something to do with it or not. Entire championship in 4th gear. I don't have control over that. It's in automatic. Don't know. I don't even know what that is, Dual Shock. I reckon I'll stop after the lightweight cup actually, because it's nearly 11 PM where I am at the moment. Need to get some sleep. I've only been sleeping about 5.5 hours a day for the last couple of weeks. Really, I've only had weekends to really get a decent amount. Dizzy, welcome in. The Suzuki Cappuccino. Ah, yeah, you mean the one in... I think it might only be available in Gran Turismo. I think it was first introduced in GT4. Keep in mind, yeah, the number of cars in this game is like less than a third than what Gran Turismo 4 would introduce. In some ways, this almost feels like a tech demo for the PlayStation 2 by comparison. But with more than enough events, just enough cars and more than enough events to still make it a very large game regardless. Yeah, I can imagine a lot of cars from GT2 being, or at least almost all of them being included into GT4, but obviously, yeah, rescanned for the PlayStation 2. I need to get rid of that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 latest review because it's been up for over a month now. I think you guys probably have already seen it by this point. Yeah, we'll stop after the lightweight cup. I need to get some sleep. I'm literally just buying my way into the lightweight cup, guys. This is probably the most quiet I've been on this entire live stream, I reckon. I'll have to look that up. Okay, 2 more. 2 laps each. I think the super speedway is 3 laps. The problem is that even with the giant turbo, it just feels like a car you take to a Sunday Cup. But no, thanks for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's do it. Why bother qualify? Oh, God. Guys. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the Mini Cooper thinking, I kind of wish I had one of those. I know they're tiny and slow, but they're so likable. They're one of the most likable cars. They're just so cute. Yeah, we'll finish the lightweight cup and then we'll stop there. I reckon that should be a pretty good long live stream. And I've got another one tomorrow morning as well, playing GTA 4. So this is also, anyway, I digress as well. One of the other reasons why I'm decided to stream for only 2 days a week, two longer live streams in different time zones, of course. So again, give you guys a chance to watch at least one of the streams without having to stay up in the middle of the night to do so. Even setting up these live streams with different overlays, different titles, creating the thumbnails, and changing the title, all that sort of stuff takes a lot more time than you realize. Because I always make them all unique to the type of game that I'm playing. Like for example, new subscription, it plays like the Gran Turismo 3, race complete music. And then when I'm playing GTA 4, it plays the Mission Complete music. I always have to keep painstakingly changing it back and forth all the time. So, and I promise you guys, it's much more tedious than it sounds. So therefore, I think doing 2 streams that are longer sort of takes away less time, takes away that unnecessary time to do that. And therefore, I could just use that time to, just use that time to just to do more work on the reviews. I swear you can fit in the old Mini. You are 6'1". Oh, I'm definitely not 6'1". No way, Lackluster. Probably 5'11", I reckon. I reckon that would be my height. 6 foot tops. I mean, some people think that I'm 6 foot. I really don't know what my height is. Some think I'm 5'9", some think I'm 5'10". I think I'm 5'11". Some think I'm 6 foot, so I honestly really don't know. I just say 180. I mean, that's just my estimate. I'm trying my best not to be too generous to myself. But I really genuinely don't know what my height is. Some think I used to be really, really short in high school. I was like the shortest kid in high school, believe it or not. Maybe I just had a slight growth spurt after I finished. I don't know, but I really don't. Oh yeah, I really don't know. So I'll have to, next time I go to go for a workout, see if I can figure out a way to actually check my natural height without shoes. I really don't know. I'm about to head off to bed. Fair enough, Chill Shock. I always consider anything 6 foot and over above, sort of above average, I would say, in terms of height. 6 foot is the sort of height you can brag about, I would say, in my opinion. I honestly really don't care about height. For me, it's just about how fit you are and how good you look. That's more important than height, in my opinion. I mean, obviously height gives you an advantage physically, of course. Yeah, look after yourself. I have a 68. Yes, go to sleep, Aussie alien. This is what, yeah. So, yeah, you're about 6'1" then. Lackluster. Yeah, that's about 6'1". 6'3". It's honestly not as all it's cracked up to be. I mean, it could be just because I'm a bit lanky. I do actually have a pretty decent wingspan for my height. Like, I've got pretty long arms for my. I've actually got pretty good long arms for my height, I would say. But yeah, that's about it, really. Maybe that's probably what sells. That's probably what. Like, I can give you. I actually do have a photo that does demonstrate my wingspan, because I did a photo shoot for, when I announced the Melbourne Marathon, because I've actually got the video uploaded on YouTube ready to go, and all the things I'm going to say when I announce it ready to go when I do announce it. But I want to finish my next review before I do. I do actually have a couple of good photos that demonstrate, different angles of, if you actually look in the about, in fact, if you look at the about section down the bottom, the marathon, there's actually a little soft announcement of, a link that actually is that's actually, if you click it, it's a link to the way to donate to Beyond Blue. There's actually a photo of me in my running gear. There's that as a little idea of what the announcement will look like. But at least it's a photo of what I look like in an exercise singlet anyway. Yeah, I reckon after this race we'll stop there. We got the lightweight cup out of the way. At least we didn't resort to repeating the same event more than once in this entire live stream. For Gran Turismo 3, that's pretty damn impressive. One more lap after this, guys. It's funny, I was racing on Laguna Seca a fair bit lately thanks to Forza Motorsport 6. They are very different from each other. Again, going to the graphics of Motorsport 6, it is pretty cool that, have the dust, swerve along the circuit, the helicopter flying around. It is almost like an art form when you look at the replay of, a car going around the corkscrew and around down the hill. It actually does look really nice graphically. Mind you, for a game that came out in 2001, this is certainly no slouch. The only difference this time is that instead of Honda sponsorship, instead of Honda badges, Honda logos everywhere, they'd be Mazda logos now. Almost like it's on rails. Yeah! It's got I just bolted a giant turbo into it. It's actually going around the corners pretty well, all things considered. Because all I did was just increase the power. I didn't really do anything to the suspension or the brakes or tires or anything. It seems to be going around, I suppose, 185. I mean, for a car in general, that's fine. But I guess I would have thought in a little car like this, it would be out of control. But it seems to be going pretty well. But again, this is a game that's got handling that sort of combines arcade and simulation perfectly. You do hear a bit of understeer, but it doesn't really feel like this sort of car that has a bit of understeer. Wait till we'll see what the price car. I wouldn't be surprised if it's basically this very car. Do we even a Suzuki Alto's even? Can you even get one in Australia? I mean, a Suzuki in general is certainly not a bad car. Yeah, it is four-wheel drive, PugTech. You're right. I remember buying it one time as a kid, thinking it'd be handy for the four-wheel drive challenge. Oh, how wrong I was. So what is it? A Mini Cooper? Yes, it is, and that's actually not a bad color for it either. There is one thing I'm disappointed in, is not being able to change the color of the like when you get a prize car, that's what you've got. You can't actually change the paint job on that. But not the works. Or even a Suzuki Swift. Those are cars that women drive though. They're good cars though, but yeah, it wouldn't be cool driving around one of those. Anyway, we'll stop there because I'm on the verge of passing out. I am on the verge of passing out right now, so yeah, maybe I could have done a re-roll, but the paint job that I got is fine. I know, it's weird. I mean, Forza Motorsport was already introducing, final jobs. Yeah, it was a fun street. It was actually good to drive lots and lots of different cars. So yeah, we'll end it on the YouTube side of it right now. So yeah, if you guys want to watch this this live stream, or if you want to watch this live stream when it gets taken off Twitch, you can watch it on this second YouTube channel, which I'm currently live on as well. So yeah, I hope you... Okay, this is to the people who are watching this on YouTube. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, evening, good night, wherever you guys are. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow morning. Spinny out.